is the much anticipated debut of Mitch Marner with the Vegas Golden Knights. He came to Las Vegas after a signing trade led him to landing at the Sin City on an 8-year, $96 million deal, joined by the recently extended Jack Eichel on an 8-year, $108 million deal that will keep him under contract through 2034 with Vegas. They will take on the Los Angeles Kings, the first team to play back-to-back games in the 2026 season. Yesterday, they lost to the Colorado Avalanche 4-1, with the Avalanche's relentless attack limiting the Kings to a garbage-time goal by Kevin Fiala on a 5-on-3 power play. Special teams as a whole were productive despite the loss. The PK unit killed off 5 of 6, but they're going up against a similarly dangerous Golden Knights power play unit that just got even more terrorizing with the addition of Marner. And staying out the box is going to be key. Hello everyone, I am Alec Nava. Welcome to Las Vegas for the opening week of the 2026 NHL season. Yesterday, the season began with a season opening victory by the Florida Panthers, the two-time defending Stanley Cup champions, were without Matthew Tkachuk until at least Christmas and Alexander Barkov for the entire regular season, as he is expected to be back between 7 and 9 months from the timetable of the injury. But now we get to the Golden Knights. As it's been the case in their franchise history, they landed the top target on the market when the acquisition season has supercharged the already electric hype surrounding the 2026 season. Marner's coming off a career-high 1 or 2 point season, his fourth straight year of a points per game average above 1.23. He has this undeniable skill of him, creative playmaking abilities, and solid two-way play. His playoff compete level has been scrutinized over the years, but Vegas is betting that the change of scenery and the winning culture maximizes his potential and helping them over the edge on the way to their second Stanley Cup in 4 years, in their 9th season as a franchise. Not just the playoffs and free cup and 6 promise from team owner Bill Foley, but they did deliver the cup in year 6. They go to what to watch from these two teams. We begin with the Kings, the visitors. Yesterday, Darcy Kemper got the start for the Kings. He was a Vezina Trophy finalist for the award, losing out to Connor Hellebuck. However, the fact that he got his first ever Vezina Trophy nomination speaks to how a special year it is for Kemper. Today, it's going to be Anton Forsberg in this challenging spot against a Golden Knights team that went 29-9-3 at home last season. He played to a save percentage of .901 and a plus 2.2 GSAX rating, goals saved above expected rating. He could prove to be a significant upgrade over former backup David Riddick, who was aggravatingly bad, to a minus 11.4 goals saved above expected rating last year. He may provide to be a solid backup for General Manager Ken Holland in his first offseason with the team, though the rest of the moves are like additions for the sake of additions and are more quantity over quality. He got veteran defenseman Cody Ceci and Brian Dumoulin this offseason, who both held drastically below average results from last year. With a minus 13.6 expected goals above replacement rating last year, Ceci was among the worst defensemen in the league. And the Dallas Stars paid dearly for it when they acquired him alongside Michael Granlund at the deadline. Dumoulin also graded out as a below-average skater, and complicating the drop-off is the fact that Jordan Spence was one of the NHL's best third-pairing defenders last year. He also lost high-quality shutdown defenseman Vladislav Gavrikov in free agency, who signed a 7-year, $49 million deal with the New York Rangers. The one potential positive from Holland's defensive shakeup is that Brant Clark is now going to have a full-time top 4 role, though he is still blocked by Drew Doughty in power play usage. Last year, they allowed the lowest expected goals against per 60 rating in the league, and now it's apart their strong two-way play for their forwards. Four core may not have the same offensive ceiling as their division rivals like the Golden Knights or the Edmonton Oilers, but the top 9 is accountable defensive forwards like Anshay Kopitar, Adrian Kempe, and Philip Deneau. Kopitar announced before the year that this season will be his last. Now for the Golden Knights, the home team. Their front office has developed a reputation for not fearing making big swings in aggressive pursuit of success, and that trend has continued. They did it with Mark Stone, Max Pacioretty, Alex Pietrangelo, Jack Eichel, Tomas Hertl, and now with Marner. So they went back to the low-key approach last year, as the only big move they made was getting back Riley Smith in a trade with the New York Rangers. Marner last year posted a career-high 1 or 2 points. He's played close to a water-point pace in the last 3 seasons. He's not an overly physical player, but his excellent awareness and understanding of the game have helped him achieve elite defensive results. Whether he'll be able to help them to another deep playoff run is debatable, and while he fared well in goal differential there, he has not produced at the rate of an elite player in the playoffs. Head coach Bruce Cassidy appears to be putting Marner on Jack Eichel's right wing as expected. Ivan Barbashev rounds out what could be one of the best first lines in the league. Eichel notched a career-high 94 points last season and cemented himself as a top 10 center. He's an excellent playmaker, and he possesses an elite one-timer, strong touch of the net, and the ability to beat goalies from mid-range with his wrister. Only twice has he ever hit 30 goals in his career, but Marner's expected to further unlock his goal-scoring upside. The Knights finished with the third best goal differential in the NHL last season and ranked 5th in expected goal share. And they have an excellent defensive core with the top 4 Shea Theodore, Braden McNabb, Noah Hannafin, and Zach Whitecloud, offering a great mix of physicality and play-driving ability. Plus, Aiden Hill in net on the last line of defense finished with a plus 14.5 goals saved above expected rating and a .906 save percentage in 50 games played last year. And he should be well motivated by a potential spot on the Canadian Olympic roster this season. Is named to the preliminary roster by Hockey Canada on the way to the Olympics. We go over to projected starting lines to begin with the visiting LA Kings. At the top line is Andrei Kuzmenko, Anze Kopitar, and Adrian Kempe. Second line, Kevin Fiala, Quinton Byfield, and Alex Laferriere. Third line is Warren Fogle, Philip Deneau, and Trevor Moore. And on the fourth line is Jeff Malott, Alex Turcotte, and Joel Armia. Defense pairs begin with Mikey Anderson with Drew Doughty on the top pairing. The second pairing is Joel Edmondson and Brant Clark. And the bottom pairing is Brian Dumoulin with Cody Ceci. The starting goaltender is Anton Forsberg. The backup is Darcy Kemper. Now for the Golden Knights, here are their lineups. On the top line is Ivan Barbashev, Jack Eichel, Mitch Marner. Second line features Riley Smith, William Karlsson, and Mark Stone. The third line with Brandon Saad, Tomas Hertl, and Pavel Dorofeyev. And on the fourth line are Brett Howden, Colton Sissons, and Keegan Colasar. Sissons taking the fourth line center spot from Nick Waugh, who was dealt the other way in the Marner trade. For the defense pairs, it begins with Braden McNabb and Shea Theodore on the top pairing, Noah Hannafin and Zach Whitecloud on the second pairing, and a new third pairing, Jeremy Lauzon with Caden Korsak. Hill is the starting goaltender, Akira Schmid is the backup. Our coaching staffs, we have Jim Hiller as the head coach of the Kings. The associate coach is DJ Smith. Assistant coaches are Newell Brown and Derek Johnson. The goaltending coach is Mike Buckley. And the video coaches are Samson Lee and Cole Lussier. For the Golden Knights, they're head coached by Bruce Cassidy. Assistant coaches John Stevens, Dominic Ducharme, and Joe Ward. Goaltending coach Sean Burke. Skills development coach Sean Farrell, and video coach Dave Rogowski. The healthy scratches for the Kings are Jacob Moverar and Sam Hellenius. And the injured players are Kyle Burrows and Corey Perry, with Perry being out month to month with a knee injury. Rehab is going well, says the Kings, but he will be monitored on a month-to-month basis. The healthy scratches for the Golden Knights are Ben Hutton, Cole Reinhardt, and Alex Holtz. And the injured players are Jakob Demek, rookie Trevor Connolly, and 21-year-old Jordan Gustafson. Alex Pietrangelo has been announced that he is going to be on season-ending injured reserve, and there are doubts if he's ever going to play a game again in the NHL, as this injury requires bilateral femur reconstruction surgery, which takes a long time to recover. So, getting over to, as we're waiting to the games, we're waiting on the start of this game. In the meantime, it is 5-1 Blue Jays. It is Toronto went up by 5-1. One of those home runs coming from. So it's been a long time in which we are seeing success here from Toronto's Jeff Hoffman is on the mound, trying for a 4-out save. The home run from Ryan McMahon is the only run that the Yankees have scored. So far, ever since, it's been all Toronto. Sacrifice fly from George Springer, Nathan Lucas, who have a base hit to center, scoring Ernie Clemente, Andres Jimenez, and then Miles Straw's RBI base hit to send home Alejandro Kirk. And the bases are loaded now, so that can really hurt Hoffman's chances of a 4-out save. And now, an interesting spark as Ben Rice walks. The pitch was off as Rice walks to first. Yankee fans like that. And now this will bring up Austin Wells, the 7th spot, as Hoffman delivers. Pops this one up over to left field. Standing there and making the catch was Miles Straw. So all the base runners left stranded going to the top of the 9th. Blue Jays lead 5-1. We're still waiting on our game. In the meantime, as Capitals versus Bruins is going on, we have one final score as the Toronto Maple Leafs defeat the Montreal Canadiens 5-2 with 5 different goal scorers. Bobby McMahon, Calle Yarncroke, Morgan Riley, and then to seal the deal, empty netters each from Austin Matthews and William Nylander. Oliver Kapanen scored on a shorthanded goal. And Zach Bolduc followed up his first goal with Montreal. He was traded there in exchange for Logan Mailloux. Yes, it was Riley with the go-ahead goal at 9:02 of the third period. Good first outing from Toronto. Sam Montembeault stopped 22 of 25, while Anthony Stolarz 29 of 31. The Bruins defeat the Capitals 3-1. David Pastrnak got the scoring started in the second period before Tom Wilson tied it. But after Wilson's tying goal, the Bruins went to the power play where it was Elias Lindholm scoring 38 seconds later. Morgan Geekie wrapped it up with an empty netter to seal the deal. So it was the season opening win for the Boston Bruins. If you're looking for Oilers versus Flames, John Ott and Cooper Hopkins have to call for that game. We're still waiting on them for them to get things going, but all I know is that I have to call for the Golden Knights and the Kings. It's just set to get underway very shortly. We assume that the player introductions are still underway, but we can assume that the loudest cheer is going to be for Mitch Marner. Now, no one can imagine loading the bases on a walk and then flying out on the first pitch after that. What? But earlier today was the Detroit Tigers forcing Game 5 against the Seattle Mariners on a 9-3 victory in Game 4. After Seattle scored the first 3 runs, the Tigers scored 9 unanswered. Dylan Dingler, RBI double. Jahmai Jones, RBI double. Javi Baez, RBI single. Riley Green, solo shot to right. That was the game-winning run. Zach McKinstry, RBI single. Javi Baez, homers to left with his first home run in 8 years in the playoffs. Gleyber Torres doubles down another home run. Then a fielder's choice from Baez. Even though Baez was left off last year's postseason roster for the Tigers, he rises to the occasion when it matters. In the 9th inning, by the way, Nathan Lucas back onto the mound. He is delivered here. Lucas lines this over to right. That is fair on the corner. Off the wall, grabbed by Judge, and Lucas has got a double. The Blue Jays players in the dugout applaud. We're still on standby for Golden Knights versus Kings, having this on the side-by-side. Well, the loudest that it was one of the loudest that the Leafs have been, but they're cheering for the Blue Jays as we're just coming up on the Golden Knights hosting the Kings at the Sin City. Viva Las Vegas! As Marner signing some signings in advance as he is this is his 10th season in the NHL. Spent his first 9 years with the Maple Leafs. He's getting a chance to play next to Jack Eichel after he played next to Austin Matthews for the first 9 years of his career on the top line as Bednar swinging a miss from Vladdy Jr. If Luke is on board at second base, Vladdy Jr. wanting to follow up with another big moment as he is having big postseason moments against this Yankees team as Bednar delivers the 0-2 and it's downstairs. Anze Kopitar, in his 20th season in the NHL, it will be his last. He's been an integral part to the Kings, winning 2 Stanley Cups with them, and one of the best defensive-minded centers of his generation. The 1-2. Vladdy Jr., this could be a chance for 2, and no play at second. Actually, no play at second because Lucas was over there, and the throwaways at first. Not on the ALDS roster are Bo Bichette, who has 94 RBI this season, Max Scherzer with 25 postseason starts, and Chris Bassett was a 3.96 ERA this season. Bassett has had his way with the Yankees this season, and Bichette, even though he's been sorely missed, the Blue Jays have picked up the slack without his services. And they're doing good there on the department, getting contributions for everyone. Vlad Guerrero Jr., Dalton Varsho, Ernie Clement, George Springer, Alejandro Kirkus. The first pitch for Barger was outside. Addison Barger is in the game, normally playing at third base. He is 3 for 4 on this game, 2 singles and a double. On the postseason, 4 of 11. But what a game Barger's has been having. 1-0. Nice curve onto the top center side for Bednar to even up the count at 1 apiece. And even though Kopitar wants to end out on top, it's going to be hard in this Western Conference that's filled with contenders such as Vegas, Edmonton. Strike 2 as it was on the bottom line this time as Clement waiting for his turn. We'd imagine that if he gets a chance, he'll be getting there. He's been excellent in this series, nonetheless. Bednar waits with Lucas at second. The 1-2. That is downstairs as well. So we're still waiting for when Marner arrives here. It is 2-2 to Barger. He's been having an excellent game here at Yankee Stadium. The 2-2. Big swing and a miss, and Barger's going to sit down. Went downstairs that time as Bednar went for the curveball and completely fooled out of him. Top of the ninth inning, 2 outs. Lucas is at second base. Bednar at 17 pitches. This is likely going to be the last batter he faces. The Blue Jays 3 outs away from an ALCS appearance as the Golden Knights skate out there and they are ready. Here's the first pitch. That is fouled back from Kirk on a curveball. All the Knights fans are ready. And the hockey world is ready to stand witness with Marner getting ready to don the gold and silver. Gold and steel gray, rather. Kirk waiting on the 0-1. The pitch. Foul to right, and that makes it an 0-2 count. Tried it off a splitter as Vladdy Jr. gets set as we are ready. You're seeing the players introduced one by one. We saw Eichel get introduced. Yeah, Cole Reinhardt is the next one up. We saw Eichel, Oder, Jeremy Lauzon make one of many Golden Knights making their debut with their new club. And another one, we know about Marner. Colton Sissons is the last of the bunch making their Golden Knights debut. Reinhardt named to the opening night roster with the new additions. And making their Kings debut yesterday were Joe Armia, Brian Dumoulin, and Cody Ceci. Ivan Barbashev next to Tomas Hertl Keegan Kolesar, huge member of this fourth line on the right wing side, and being a physical presence there. Wild Bill, the next one up. William Karlsson, their defensive ace, as he gets a loud ovation. And now here's the moment that we're all waiting for. Mitch Marner gets the loudest cheer of the crowd as Alejandro Kirk strikes out. 12 hits for the Blue Jays in this game compared to the Yankees 4. It'll be Volpe to lead things off. Trent Grisham is the third batter in this order. We're getting set for the opening puck drop as Marner gets his first skate as a Golden Knight. Back to his number 93 as he has worn in his London Knights days. Dorofeyev has taken number 16, so Marner switched back to the number 93. And what a moment it's been for him, for the Toronto native. Though he's not exactly born in Toronto, he's from Markham. But nonetheless, he's been huge wherever he has been, including for Team Canada in the Four Nations face-off when he set up Connor McDavid for the championship-winning goal. Jack Eichel on the starting lineup as their top-line center. Marner, for sure, going to be his winger on the right side. Barbashev has emerged into a quality presence, physically and goal-scoring wise. 741 points in his career. He signed an 8-year deal on the first day of free agency with the Golden Knights after getting traded there in exchange for Nick Waugh. Toronto got what they can, but they lost out on all sorts of leverage on the deal. Eichel with 253 points with Vegas. He signed an 8-year extension hours before game day. Adin Hill is the starting goaltender for the Knights. Stanley Cup champion when they got him on board. Filling in for the injured Laurent Brossoit in the second round series against the Edmonton Oilers 3 seasons ago in their cup winning run. As we're almost set to go, as back on the mound is Jeff Hoffman. The Yankees have committed 1 error so far in this game. Ernie Clement moves to third base. An unsung hero for the Blue Jays, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at second base. You still have Andres Jimenez at shortstop. Clement started the game at second base. They had Barger at third. IKF moves back into his natural position at second base. And warming up now and getting set as we're ready to go here for the bottom of the 9th inning between the Blue Jays and the Yankees. This is Jason Dominguez pinch hitting for Anthony Volpe. Ahmed Rosario, the 9th spot hitter, taking the place of Ryan McMahon, who has the game's only run for the Yankees. So it's Dominguez, Rosario, and Grisham at the very least. And if one of them reaches, barring a double play, it's going to be Aaron Judge, 4th in this order. Dominguez, who changed his number to 24. Dominguez fouls one off. 97 on Hoffman's fastball. They're going side by side. Here in the meantime is the Blue Jays 3 outs away from the ALCS. The Yankees trying to make a miracle comeback and force a Game 5, which would be on Friday night. 0-1. Outside as we are on our feet here. 1-1 to count. Is Anze Kopitar, who is ready for his final season in the NHL. And this is played over to right center field, down and to the wall as it bounces. Varsho grabs it, limits Dominguez to a double. So that is what is going on in the meantime right now. Runner at second base. So Dominguez is in second. Hoffman now at 11 pitches in. Does John Schneider call the bullpen to get someone on. Louis Varwin, 20 pitches. Mason Fluharty, 27. Sir Anthony Dominguez, 20. Eric Lauer, 17. Yariel Rodriguez, 7. Brennan Little, 18. Braden Fisher, 17. Hoffman, 11 and counting. Those are the number of pitches used by the Blue Jays in this bullpen game. Up top, as it is 1-0 to count for Rosario. He had a single in the 7th, batting .333 in the postseason. Let's get rocking and rolling in Vegas, and welcome to the Sin City, Mitch Marner. This is the opening night for the Golden Knights as Rosario swings and misses. Here's Doughty. The shot was deflected up, and it goes over the net. The Knights tried to pick this one up. They will at their own zone, and they clear it out. Will be recollected by Anderson, backpedaling all the way to his own zone. Up the far side near the Knights bench as Barbashev takes it in. Braces for contact from Anderson. Fly ball over to left field. Caught by Straw. That's one out. He'll throw to third. No play there as Dominguez stays. Grisham's up now. And over the near side is Andrei Kuzmenko, the former Vancouver Canuck. Pass nearly intercepted, but now it goes through. And Hill had to make an early stop so as they shut that chance down. So as we're on the way here between John Ott and Cooper Hopkins. They're still waiting for everything to commence in terms of the puck drop. But if you're wanting to tune into that game, I'll remind you of when it's underway. Carlson could not win that faceoff as this goes side to side, and it'll be moved back up by the Kings, collected by Zach Whitecloud, premier shutdown defenseman. Carlson moves it up the far boards, but it bounces off somebody, and several stick taps in the way. This puck bounces over towards the near side. Kings and Knights. Who would have thought of this royal battle to begin the year for Vegas? Is Kopitar driving the play towards the near corner of the Vegas zone. The Knights pick it up as this Carlson moves it over to center ice, and it'll be picked up now by Brant Clark, who's now in an elevate role on the second pairing. 2-1 to count for Grisham. Judge on deck. Near the blue line at the Vegas zone. Vegas won their last 6 season openers. The Kings trying to end that here tonight. To the far corner, Korsak trying to move this out, but the Kings hold it. Along the far half boards, poked away by Tomas Hertl. And backing up is Dumoulin as this is fielded at first base. And a flip to Hoffman. What a play! What a play at first base by Vladdy Jr. How about that for an effort? 2 away. As Dominguez moves to third, and Vlad Guerrero Jr. catching the ball and cutting it off as Jeff Hoffman had to rush over knowing that this was going to be a tough play for Vladdy. Dumped it onto the near corners and sent in by LA. Vegas will pick it up as it's Shea Theodore setting up the play. At center ice, it's Dorofeyev. Backhanding it over to the far side. Forsberg plays this out. Aaron Judge here. Judge swings and misses on a slider. 2 more strikes away for the Blue Jays to advance. Up at the far corner as it's picked up by Doughty at the right point. Doughty, shot blocked in front over towards the slot as Vegas trying to clear. Cannot as it's held in towards the near half boards. Drop back for Doughty, tries another long shot and Hill sees his one coming. He'll stop it. 0-2 to Judge as the Yankees down to the last strike of their season. Forsberg was the backup to Linus Olmark last year. Now he's backing up Darcy Kemper. And because Kemper got the start yesterday, Forsberg's getting to start tonight. Aiden Hill, career high in games played last season with 50. And a career high 32 wins with 4 shutouts. Acquired at the 2023 deadline from the San Jose Sharks. Defensive zone draw for Jack Eichel. Bulk star on the faceoff. We'll have to do this over again. 1-2. The count for Judge against Hoffman. The 1-2. And this is sent over to left field. Off the wall. This will bring in Dominguez. Don't go yet. Judge is held to a single. And here's Vegas up the far side. Towards the right point. Marner drops it back. Moved across from Whitecrow to Hanifin. Hanifin sends one off the boards. And it'll be scooped up by Eichel. Near side. One-timer Hanifin deflected. And that one didn't miss by much. Marner picks it up. Will drop it out for Eichel. Serving with Anderson shadowing him. Eichel tries to spin a Rommel left point. Activates up front. Moves towards the slot. Nothing there as Barbashev is forced out by Quinton Byfield. First pitch And Bellinger. That one's fouled. It didn't miss by much though. Bellinger 0 for 4. But strikeout, flyout, lineout, and pop out. The only thing that's missing is a ground out. On deck is Giancarlo Stanton. Edmondson picks it up, but he is hounded by Mark Stone, the captain. Up the near half boards, this will be dragged along. And Kopitar, did he draw a penalty? Over at center ice, we'll have to wait and see as Kempe 0-2 to Bellinger, the former Chicago Cub and former LA Dodger. It is a delay penalty against the Golden Knights as Kempe will set up for Edmondson. Now moved it over towards the near corner. Back over to Edmondson. Left point. And then a pass back across towards the right point. Edmondson holding it. Now over to Kempe. Brad Clark takes Edmondson's place. Far half boards. Now back over to Kempe who mishandled it. Ball 1 to Bellinger. 1-2 is the count as Hoffman trying to deliver a 4-out the last 4 outs in his outing. Kuzmenko sends it up for Kopitar. We'll shuffle it around. As Vegas touches up, we'll have to see what the penalty is. As we welcome Garrett Rankin, Johnny Hebert, Brandon Garolets, and Johnny Murray, referees and linesmen respectively. As the penalty was Kopitar's, who draws it, and that's it! The Toronto Blue Jays are headed to the ALCS for the first time in 9 years! The bullpen game works to perfection. They used 8 pitchers with Louis Varland getting the start. And they all get the job done to shut down the Yankees. It'll be the Toronto Blue Jays and here the Seattle Mariners or the Detroit Tigers on the ALCS. Kopitar waiting on the wing. Carlson gets 2 minutes for tripping. LA on a 5-on-4 power play as it's moved up near side by Vegas and they dump it all the way down. Anton Forsberg will let this one fly over to Quinton Byfield. Shadowed by Brett Howden, he drops it over to Adrian Kempe. Vegas making quick work on the penalty kill. The Kings set it up. Offensive side, Kuzmenko. He fires and scores! Quick snipe, Sally Kuzmenko! No chance for Aiden Hill to shut this down. The screen in front from Noah Hannafin paved the path for Kuzmenko as he went top shelf on the top right corner. And even though Vegas was pinching towards the neutral zone, a quick pass from the defensive side all the way to the blue line was what set this up. And Kuzmenko, Johnny on the spot, on the top of the slot, made sure that 52 points on his career on the power play. That includes a goal tonight. He's on the board. And the Kings with the first 4 shots of this game. They get on the board first. Up against Vegas' penalty kill. Back in the neutral zone, Dano. Picked up now by Hurdle. And Hurdle will send this to the side of Forsberg. Hurdle rides first, but he is hounded down. Dano tried to take it away. Taken back by Vegas as it's Dorofeyev. Dorofeyev around Dumoulin and Ceci. Dorofeyev backhands one. That went off the wall. And Vegas will keep it as here's a chance on the slot. And that right the post! Oh my goodness, that was so close for Pavel Dorofeyev to take with the twine. Warren Fogle over the far half boards trying to take this puck back for the Kings. But the Knights are making quick work of this. Puck loose. It's now picked up by Dumoulin. At the right point, now cleared out by the Kings. They can finally get their change in. Braden McNabb back onto the ice. The frequent defensive partner of Shea Theodore in this time frame. Out there is Eichel, the top line. And this puck hit the netting. 5:43 into this opening frame. It was certainly a great opportunity to be able to shoot that for Dorofeyev to fire that. Wanting to make sure that last season was not a fluke. A subtle change of direction, a subtle change of the angle of the shot from Kuzmenko, in which he got that up as the Knights having trouble picking up this puck. Kuzmenko from Kopitar and Fiala on the power play. Far side, it is LA with Doughty loading it up. To the right, LaFerriere. Could not corral this. It is McNabb who sends it up near side. Chopped out. Doughty restarts once again as Anderson to his left. He'll send a quarterback pass up the middle for Byfield that is cut off. And here's Marner. Mitch Marner waits a bit. It'll go to McNabb. McNabb towards Barbashev, who flips it to the back of the zone. Forsberg slows it down for Anderson. Laferriere sends it up, and it will be picked up now by Hanifin. Up the far boards for Riley Smith, and up the middle, it's mishandled what could have been a 2-on-1 by Mark Stone. It'll be Hanifin trying to go again, but 4 Kings were on him. Fired from the far side, sent into the zone as motivating it is Malapa. It's Hanifin. Deep shot from White Cloud, bounced off of Forsberg, and is left on by Mark Stone to Hanifin. Hanifin tries again. Nice block, and it exits out of play. The only goal from Andrei Kuzmenko on the man advantage, as he used Hanifin as a screen, is 1-0 Kings when we return. First regular season game for Mitch Marner as a Golden Knight. And here in Las Vegas, they're all thrilled to witness his debut. Trying to get on the scoreboard first. But that did not happen, as it was Kuzmenko who spoiled the party. They would love to see a Marner goal or a Marner takeaway. Last season, he was third in the NHL in assists with 75. Jack Eichel was 6th with 64. Off this faceoff, it is the Golden Knights in control as it's a turnaround shot. The rebound on the backhand, and it could not be stopped home as Forsberg shut the door. Back towards the point, there was a good stick in the way, and chasing after the puck. Whitecrow dumps it in as there was a good active stick from the Kings to cut off that pass, and good control by Forsberg on the rebound. CC to Kuzmenko, the goal scorer on the power play. On the chase down, it is Dorofeyev who sends it over towards the right side. Up the far boards, and now moving up is Hertl. Tomas Hertl gets slowed down. It'll now be picked up by the Kings. Here's Kuzmenko trying to go for 2. Kuzmenko carrying this in by himself, waits for reinforcements, takes it out. Restarting his Doughty over to Anderson as the Knights are all over this puck. It'll be bounced up. McNabb backhands it over to the far corner. Anderson shoved by Barbashev. Fans love that as they're wanting to see the bruising and banging. Takeaway here. Down low. And could not be stuffed home by Barbashev as he lost control with the puck. Eichel picks it up. Wants to go back to the point. Errant pass. That was intended for what I believe was Shea Theodore. He was looking for Barbashev as that was almost turned over to Warren Foegele. Shot attempt 7-6 Kings as this pass bounced off of Marner. Marner sticked it away from Doughty. It's Anderson who gets hit hard by Riley Smith. McNabb turned over. Here are the Kings on the zone as that's caught by Hill. Glove saved there as he scooped it up out the air. Another bone-crushing hit. He looks to do that every single time as the Flames and Oilers are underway right now. It appears there's not seeing anything from John at this moment. As is Tomas Hertl. He did tell me he is busy, so he won't be available if there's a possibility of Game 5. 11:29 to go here in the first period. Alec Nava here with you on the play-by-play. The only goal belonging to Andrei Kuzmenko. Brett Howden wins the face-off with some help. Lauzon moves it up over towards the near side for Sissons. Sissons around the boards for Howden. On to the far corner as he is shoved once and twice. Byfield was there. Howden keeps it. Right point. It is Korczak who sends it around. Back to Howden. Far corner still as he moves away from Fiala. Lauzon waits. Now sends one towards the net. Fired wide. It'll be Korczak who keeps it in. The puck took a bounce. It'll be scooped up by Fiala. With Lauzon moving after this puck. The former Boston Bruin and former Nashville Predator. Lauzon frees it up. Back towards the point as Korczak waits. Now moving up front. Waiting. Then going behind the net. As the Knights are searching for the perfect opportunity. One-timer Lauzon. Didn't miss by much. And the rebound towards the slot. Blocked in front in traffic. Sissons picks it up. Backhands it towards the right point as Korczak's back there. Now back around for Howden, who couldn't play the puck. Now he can. Looking on his backhand. Poked it out. Trying to get this to Lauzon, but this took a bounce. Back to center ice. Though it's still in the zone. Sissons has it away from Byfield. And now a penalty is coming up. Embellishment is the penalty. The initial hook by Sissons, and it looks like there's an embellishment penalty as well. And indeed it is. Sissons, 2 for hooking, and Byfield 2 for embellishment, so we will go 4-on-4, but I didn't see any embellishment there. As just let this legs go through, and I thought that call was not really much of embellishment. Or I think he tried to sell it. Now that I look about it this from another angle, he did try to sell it, given the reaction that he had. 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, so this will open up more space. Adrian Kempe's out there. Arguably the Kings' best forward. Eichel and Marner are out there at the same time. The first time we got to see these two together out there. McNabb and Theodore to support Eichel and Marner. And we take a look out for 93. Doughty and Anderson there. Marner off the face-off win from Eichel. Gives it to him. Eichel, stutter stepping at the left circle. Eichel moves in. Forsberg shuts the door. Oh, what a nifty play by Jack. He's upset with himself. He knew that he wanted to go for that one as he puts Doughty on a full spin cycle as he tried to go coast to coast. And he knew he didn't have enough space to shoot that. By the time he tried to go forehand, he said, ugh, I knew I should have gone with the backhand. Ryan Doom went off the Kings face-off win. He feeds it near side for Doughty. Swinging a missed pass to Kempe as Kempe is pressured. Does the safe thing and go to Doughty. Now back up the far side. Moving up is Kempe. He'll send it in. Going after the puck. The puck is McNabb. He takes an awkward hit from Kempe. Kopitar moves back. Dublin does a good job keeping it in for the moment, but it's picked up by Eichel now. The breakout pass missed for Marner, but now be picked up by the Kings. Trying to get away from Marner is Dumoulin. He does so, and Marner will go for his change. Doughty, starting from his own zone, moving up through center ice, towards the far side. Whitecrow can't get to the puck. Hannafin can. William Karlsson pressured around, and this will be Stone. Will feed it across to a chasing Whitecrow, chopped by Anderson as Whitecrow got into deep. Ceci up the far boards over to Anderson at the corner as he'll wait for his turn. 49 seconds left in the 4-on-4. We're past the halfway mark of the first. Kuzmenko the only goal. I am Alec Nava on the play-by-play. Ceci. Near side as he dumps it in onto the zone. It'll be picked up by Hill. And one thing that we have to see at this Golden Knights is if they can boost their power play numbers. They were one of the best teams on the man advantage last season. Can they capitalize on that? Anderson picks it up. Pressured by Carlson. He gets away. Anderson over to Ceci. Far boards as it's 20 seconds left on 4-on-4 time. Starter stepping around is Kuzmenko trying to go for another goal. Up to far boards and waiting for it is Dorofeyev. Poked away from him. And it will be the Knights who will take it back up. Backhanded. Over to Dorofeyev as both Sissons and Byfield are getting ready to return. And they're out now. Over the near side, Dorofeyev takes it in. Slowed down by Clark. Still has the puck. Evades Deneau. To the far side, it will be Brandon Saad, but it's deflected out. 9 shot attempts by each team, but here come the Kings again. Chance for another goal. Byfield scores! Right out the box. Onto the goal sheet. Quentin Byfield. A breakout pass as Quentin Byfield goes angle for angle right off the box. And that's just what he needed to make his statement on this mark to try and spoil the party here at Las Vegas. An angle pass as he gets the puck out of the zone. As the pass from the Vegas defender was picked up by Byfield. He reads the pass, tips it to himself, and goes on the partial break and buries it. 2-0 Kings in a flash. 8 minutes to go. Byfield, no assists. And he didn't need any when he could do it himself. The Knights are back behind the net as Kolesar. Kolesar moves into the slot and it's blocked. Nice shot blocked to prevent that from being a possible goal to try and make it 2-1. I've actually made its way to Forsberg as the Kings dump it in as Hill plays this out onto the far corner. And it's moved all the way. Far side is Sissons. Colton Sissons moved it up as it's chipped ahead. But the Kings read that and the Knights will go back and restart their offense. Hannafin places around the nearest boards. The Knights trying to set up their offense, but the Kings picked that one apart and set up the 3-on-2, coast to coast. LaFerriere enters in. Byfield gets a stick lifted by White Cloud. Behind the net, it is Fiala. Fiala moves it over. Back towards the left point. It'll be sent down over to Fiala. Fiala moves along the side of the net towards the near corner. Back onto the left point as it's Ceci. Ceci waits, fires, kick save. The puck is still there. Swept away by the Knights. Restarting is Fiala to a wide open man. Shot fired wide. And setting up once again is Fiala. And that one's broken up. Foot race for the puck. Here's Barbashev and the pass missed Marner. They could not connect this. Stillman sticks this one away. Byfield will stick this one away. And Marner! Oh my goodness! Yes, Forsberg will have to stop an awkward looking play. As Quentin Byfield buried the puck with Forsberg. He avoids a scare for the Kings and shutting down that chance on the takeaway. Goodness, it's 2-0 Kings. 6:31 left in the first period. The Kings off to a fiery start. Jim Hiller of a 69-38-10 record as the Kings head coach with 2 postseason appearances. LA trying to end their skid in the playoffs, where he had 4 straight losses in the first round to the Oilers. In each series exit, more painful than the last. Last year was their best shot, especially since they had home ice advantage. Face-off won by the nice control of the left point. Quick shot takes a bounce off of King. And it's cleared out by Kempe, picked up by Kuzmenko. Kopitar. The Kings did say that there was a lot to like from their special teams in the first game. They killed 5 of 6. Last year's season series, they won 3 out of 4 games. As the Kings, they're pressured their own zone as Karlsson tried to get it off. Loose stick on the ice, and I assume it's broken. Up the far side, quick slapper! And Aiden Hill didn't have to make a lot as he saw it miss the net. Puck goes to the slot, and another one-timer. Shut down by Hill. That was Kuzmenko looking for a second. Kopitar to Kempe. Adrian Kempe spins around Karlsson. Picked apart as it'll be the Knights on the attack. Now setting up at the net for a swing at Karlsson as Stone set up in front. And the Golden Knights will go to their first power play as Karlsson went flying. And no doubt you can get the sense that the shame chats are getting readied up. Stone on deliver to Karlsson, trying to go for the home runs slap. As Drew Doughty is being penalized for the hook, but what more can Doughty do? Being put on a pickle between a rock and a hard place, and that was the only play that he could make to try and penalize Karlsson, risking himself in the process. On the ice are Eichel, Hertl, Dorofeyev, Marner, and Stone. It is a 5-4 power play. No defenseman on this 5-4 power play. Rarely see this in the NHL, but the Toronto Maple Leafs used to Marner as the power play quarterback. Eichel will go over to Marner, a slapper. Fired wide, go back for Eichel. Around for Stone. Stone moves over towards the far side. It's Dorofeyev cruising in. Stone looking Eichel's direction, feeds him. Eichel still waiting, trying to open things up towards the slot. Dorofeyev waits, goes down low. That pass didn't miss Stone by much though. It'll be back to Eichel. Back over to Marner. Waits. Now goes over to Dorofeyev, who looks back to Marner. He loads up. Now goes to Hertl. Hertl across the ice. Pass intercepted and blocked off. The Kings moved this down. It's actually tripping the penalty for Doughty as Marner looking to drop this off, or else he'll take it himself. Now he'll drop it off to Eichel. Jack Eichel takes it in himself. Now moves it to Dorofeyev. Sets up towards the slot. The puck takes a bounce. The Kings trying to get this one out. Marner on the hold. Bounces to Ceci as the Kings clear it out one more time. Vegas had a 28.3% power play conversion rate last season, second in the NHL. It's a franchise best for them. The Go Knights go Jets, loading up as Hanifin drops back, and the second is out there is Wild Bill. Over to Howden. Howden moving around Ceci, trying to get through here, and here's Theodore to Hanifin. Hanifin fires this, blocked off by Ceci. Dumoulin trying to fire this one down. It takes a slow rolling bounce off the boards over to Hill. Hill sets up for Theodore. Theodore will drop back for Karlsson, and the big question is who steps up as the main power play quarterback now that Alex Pietrangelo is likely done playing hockey. Down to 5 seconds, and here's the near quarter. This one knocked away by Hanifin. Kings looking for a hand pass. None is whistled. Now the whistle is being blown because of said hand pass. And as Barbashev touches up. So now we'll be stepping away here. The Kings have a power play goal and an even strength goal. 2-0 LA. With less than 4 minutes to go. 2-0 LA. Could anyone expect this? So it's Eichel with an 8-year extension with Vegas. He signed today. His career with the Knights in 241 games played, 100 goals, 153 assists. He set the single-season franchise records for assists and points last year. Ever since he was acquired from the Buffalo Sabres, he has not looked back, being a staple of the franchise, helping them to a Stanley Cup as their true franchise center. Up the near side will be sent down the ice, and it will be iced by the Kings. 617 games played, 608 career points. And he's going to be back out there on the ice with Mitch Marner. Eichel donning the A. He previously was the captain of the Buffalo Sabres before they revoked the captaincy over disagreement over the type of surgery that he prefers. Eichel, Marner, Barbashev out there alongside McNabb and Theodore. Last season he had 30 multi-point games, which ranked 5th in the NHL. At the near corner, the Kings cleared out again, trying to get a change as McNabb moves it up, takes a bounce off a stick. Vegas trying to pick it back up as it's Barbashev. Tired bodies on the ice for the Kings. Near the penalty box doors as McNabb wants to take it away from Armia. Sockers it ahead over to Turcotte. Sticked away by Theodore, and we move to Eichel. Kuzmenko and Byfield have the only goals in this game. Eichel whiffs on a pass, and we take it up by Armia, the former Montreal Canadian. Armia waiting for his teammates, or rather as Kuzmenko. It'll be Kempe up the far side, and it bounced out of play. With 2:52 to go, I did message Ian about the Blue Jays beating the Yankees in a creative way. And, well, Paul Bissonnette, as per usual, is having a fun time with the NHL and TNT. Wayne Gretzky signed an extension of the same day that Connor McDavid did. And everyone's fired up in Edmonton. They also got back Jake Wallman and Matthias Ekholm, 7 and 3 more years respectively. Around the near half boards, it'll be Howden. Shut off by Doughty as it's moved through Zach Whitecloud. Bounced up as this will be collected by the Kings off the dump that was sticked. The puck is knocked down by Vegas as two players come together. And a whistle here for a high stick. Oh, of course, David Ortiz, Big Papi, does love to say, "The Yankees lose." The Yankees lose. Oh my goodness. Never change, Big Papi. So, I'd also have a view of the Blue Jays clinching their berth in the AOCS as heard inside Scotiabank Arena more than 45 minutes after the game ended. So many fans stay at the arena for the game on the watch party. The dump been shut out by Forsberg as 2:15 is left. Smith, CC wrestled the puck away and fed it over to Dumoulin. Now back up for Laferriere. Up the far side. Offside as Byfield was a step ahead. Vegas did a good job forcing that. With Laferriere trying to get in. 2:06 left. Byfield delays goal scores. He scored on that breakaway. Mitch Marner arriving at Las Vegas. And I know many have been looking forward to that for their opening night. And what a night here at Las Vegas to see their dream come true. Face-off won by the Knights. And this so-called third line being a second line with Mark Stone in the presence. Brandon Saad moves in. He has Dorofeyev on the drop. Byfield was there to deny that chance. Vegas restarts with Hannafin on the defense. Turnaround pass from Dorofeyev was shut off by the Kings, and it'll be sent down to the near side. Move back gets it Hannafin. Hannafin drops it over. Whitecloud waits. Now moves it up. A low stumble from Saad, but here's Dorofeyev taking it back up. Pass bounced off a King, and it exits out the zone. The Kings are doing a good job on defense so far, and that's one of the things that is impressing me a lot with this Kings team. They are a defense-first team, and they're staying true to that identity. The Kings were second in the Pacific Division last year. The Knights first. Both teams losing to the Oilers in 6 and 5 games in the first two rounds. 107 to go here in the first as it's chopped away Chasing after is Trevor Moore, but picking it up is Marner. Moving up for Eichel on a 3-on-2. He feeds it over right side. Back to Eichel. Can't get the shot away, and the pass missed. Kept in by Lauzon as he fired wide intentionally, trying to look for a deflection. The Knights keep this one inside with Barbashev. No passing partner on the far corner. As it's cleared out by LA, they'll get a change. Theodore on the jump as Vegas trying to get one last attack here before anything else. Theodore on the hold on the near side, but it's intercepted and the Kings take it up. Kopitar setting up for Kempe, but it was knocked away by the Knights. Theodore comes in again. Shea Theodore finds around the near side. Picked up at the far half boards by the Kings. It'll be Dumoulin from far to near to Edmondson as Kopitar and Kempe connect. Here's Kuzmenko up the far side. 12 seconds. Kuzmenko Vadets trying to feed one up front. Nobody in the swat. Edmondson feeds back. Here is Kempe with a long shot and a rebound. Hell, bit of a great save as it's set up. And that was just deflected away. Intended for Kempe and a long shot. Hell of another good stop. And what a chaotic end to this first period. 2-0 Kings. It almost looked like Kuzmenko was going for another goal, but the pass set up for Kempe, that actually bounced off a stick and off of Kopitar's chin. He's alright though. No further wear and tear onto it. But it remains 2-0 after 20 minutes of action. When I come back, it'll be the first intermission report. I'm Alec Nava. Here with you on the play-by-play. We'll return for the intermission. This is the first intermission, and the Kings, shockingly, up on the Golden Knights 2-0 in Mitch Marner's debut with Vegas. So far, the scoring coming from Andrei Kuzmenko and Quinton Byfield for the first 2 goals of this game. Kuzmenko on the man advantage from Anze Kopitar and Kevin Fiala this is game 2 of Kopitar's farewell tour. Byfield reading the pass on the tape-to-tape pass across between defensemen. He read it and went on the breakaway. And he delivered the 2-0 goal. So that's what stands here. And then Anton Forsberg, 7 of 7, Adin Hill, 8 of 10. Now in the meantime, it's 2-0 Oilers over the Flames after 1. Unfortunately, we're not seeing John Ott or Cooper Hopkins here. They have not seen an indication of a space getting started. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has the first goal of the year for the Oilers on the power play. Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid, the assists. Who else? There's McDavid, who assists on a goal from, here's something weird, Calgary, Andrew Mangiapane, who is now a member of the Oilers on the other side of the Battle of Alberta. He used to play for the Calgary Flames before he was traded to the Washington Capitals. He did well with Washington, but he didn't stay put there after last year. RNH with the secondary assists, and now both 97 and 93 have 2 points apiece. Stuart Skinner, 4-4. Dustin Wolf, 7 of 9. Wolf signed a 7-year extension with the Flames this past summer. As we're getting the recap of all the games. Now we're going to the recaps of the MLB games, just to recap what happened in the Blue Jays and Yankees. There was a watch party at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. Maple Leafs fans were staying 45 minutes after the Leafs game ended just to watch the Blue Jays. The Sportsnet feed from Dan Schulman. And what a moment it is at Scotiabank Arena. It turned into a watch party there. Vlad Guerrero Jr. RBI base it to right. And that's followed up a sac fly from George Springer. Then RBI single from Nathan Lucas that added insurance in the 7th inning. Then a Miles Straw RBI single to right that scored in Alejandro Kirk after Kirk got in of a double. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa subbed in the place of Addison Barger for the 9th inning for defensive purposes. Barger had himself a game. Him to remember, 3 of 5. As he was 3 of 4 in his first 4 at-bats. A single, a double, and he reached on infield single. He got on base in his first 3 at-bats. Infield single to third, then single to right, a double to center. That was outstanding from his. Lucas was 2 for 5. Ernie Clement, 2 for 3 with a hit by pitch. So 2 singles for Clement, who finished the series batting .643. And then he was later hit by a pitch. He got out the way at the last moment because that was close to hitting his jaw. If he got hit on the jaw, yikes, that would not have looked good. It was a bullpen game for the Blue Jays. Louis Varlin was the opener. He pitched 4 batters. He got 4 outs here. Mason Fluharty got 3 outs. Sir Anthony Dominguez, 5 outs. Eric Lauer, 5 outs. Yari Rodriguez, 1 out. Brendan Little, 1 out. Braden Fisher, 2 outs. So yeah, 3 outs. Braden Fisher, 2 outs. And Jeff Hoffman got the final 4 outs of the game. And he got the save for the Jays. As for the Yankees, it was Cam Schlittler getting the start. And it was not as historic as it was in the Red Sox series. He only got 2 strikeouts. He pitched 6 1/3 innings in the game. 88 pitches before they went to Devin Williams, then Camilo Doval, and David Bednar. So Williams was shaky, and Doval even shakier. He was pulled after 10 pitches. So as Aaron Boone to get Bednar on the mound, trying to not take any chances. Aaron Judge finished batting .500 in the entire postseason. So despite entering the postseason hot, it doesn't fare any better for the Yankees because despite having a better roster, at least on paper in comparison to last year, they ended up running into a Blue Jays team that knows how to put the ball in play. The final composite score line showed the Blue Jays getting 34 runs total. 34. The Yankees, meanwhile, they ended up with a total of just 20. Or actually, they ended up getting 19 total runs. The Blue Jays outscored the Yankees 34-19 in the series. No contest in the first two games. It was belt to you-know-what. 12-6 the hits in favor of the Blue Jays in Game 4. Ryan McMahon at the only home run. A third baseman who was a defensive specialist with the only run of the game. Ahmed Rosario was the pinch hitter for him. Dominguez pinch hit for Anthony Volpe. And pinch hitting for Anthony Santander was Miles Straw. Santander was 0 for 3. Straw hit a base hit on his first and only at-bat of the game. So, as of right now, it is the Philadelphia Phillies and the Los Angeles Dodgers are underway at the middle of the 7th, as it's the Phillies up 3-1. Tommy Edman hit a home run to left center field, followed by Kyle Schwarber, 455 feet to right. Then Alec Bohm with an RBI single to center. Bryce Harper scored on a throwing error by Andy Pajes, which moved Bohm all the way to third base, which was originally a single. Brandon Marsh had a sacrifice fly that scored in Bohm in that 4th inning. Well, so this is going in hotly contested here in the 7th inning. The order is Ohtani, Betts, Teoscar Hernandez, Freeman, Smith, Kike Hernandez, Muncy, Pajes, Edman. We have Yoshinobu Yamamoto getting the start for the Dodgers, and for the Phillies, getting the start was Aaron Nola, but he didn't last long. Ranger Suarez had to come in relief. Trey Turner, Schwarber, Harper, Bohm, Marsh, Realmuto, Kepler, Castellanos, and Stott. The batting order for the Phillies. So that is the lineup. Earlier it was the Seattle Mariners facing off against the Detroit Tigers. The Chicago Cubs did all their damage in the first inning. It was a Michael Busch home run to right center. Then Pete Crow Armstrong an RBI single to score Nico Horner and Kyle Tucker. Ian Happ scored on a wild pitch by Nick Mears. Milwaukee tried to come back with a Jake Bauers RBI single to center that scored in Sal Frelick with a sacrifice fly scoring Christian Yelich. And then Jake Bauers hit a home run to left center to cut it to within 1. Quinn Priester did not last long. He got 2 outs in the game. As before, the Brewers had to go to Nick Mears, then Jose Quintana, Grant Anderson, Jared Koenig. As Grant Anderson pitching out the bullpen. Chad Patrick, a starting pitcher, also pitching out the bullpen. And for the Cubs, they went with Jameson Taillon. 2.25 ERA has been solid so far in this postseason. We're going to Drew Pomeranz, Daniel Palencia, Andrew Kittredge, Caleb Thielbar, and Brad Keller. Several different relievers on the Cubs have gotten a save this postseason. So it's 2 different players getting a save for the Cubs this postseason. Andrew Kittredge, 1, and Brad Keller with 2 saves. There's a lot of people going out there and meeting Wayne Gretzky before the game wearing the 99 jersey. But Vlad Guerrero Jr. is doing his best to hold back tears on the field at Yankee Stadium. It means more to him than anyone on the Blue Jays roster. He committed to 14 years with them. He was awarded with the deepest playoff run of his career, says Jeff Passan on the Twitter side. The Blue Jays a juggernaut, a balanced offense overwhelming the Yankees all series long. When we come back, it's going to be the second period in Marner's debut with the Golden Knights. I am Alec Nava. The Kings 2, the Knights nothing. It's a drone show here at the middle of the first intermission. That's something creative that Vegas does. What happens in Vegas does stay in Vegas, which we're getting set for the second period here at T-Mobile Arena at Las Vegas, Nevada. Quinton Byfield delays goal. He scored on the breakaway for the Kings. 23 goals last season, a career high for him, as he is getting set to lead this second lineup. And we're underway for the second period. Shea Theodore picks it up as the Knights moving left to right. I am Alec Nava. The Knights in their home golden jerseys. Ivan Barbashev sets up at the near side. Barbashev will drop it off. A crowd of players over at the slot. Backhanded to keep it. Over to Marner with Theodore, as Marner tried to stuff it. Freeing space up now for Eichel. Moves back for Theodore. Theodore, as Eichel shut off, Barbashev jumps onto the puck, spins around And Byfield and Eichel missed on the shot. It's the Kings trying to get this one out, and they will on the delay reaction. This is the first of 16 back-to-back games for the Kings this season. The Knights have won their last 6 season opening games. McNabb plays it out onto center ice as the Knights are back inside. Quick shot fired wide. And over towards the near half boards as Kempe wanting to clear this one out, and he will. Mark Stone will reset. Stone towards the far side. At the left point. Chipped around to hold it. As Barbashev, or rather Smith, he's out there with Carlson and Stone. A stick lift from Stone to try to keep this play alive. Kopitar overskate the puck. Whitecroft finds Hannafin, and up for the near side here, Stone re-entering again. William Carlson enters in. Kick saved by Forsberg, and all the way down. Who picked up by Aiden Hill. He'll play it out towards the far corner, whereas Hannafin will lead the way. Hannafin, the Boston, Massachusetts native, will feed it over far side. Dumped in, but the Kings will take it back up. Warren Fogle backpedals, looking for it to no, but a good eye there by Vegas. Tomas Hertl moved up for Dorofeyev. He has Saad moving up, but he has Dubois with him. Dorofeyev on the hole. Turnaround shot. That one took a block. Hertl cannot handle it as it's moved down the near side of the ice. Lausanne won the battle on the chase down. Dorofeyev has it. Now back for Lausanne. Lausanne up the far side. Move back, and Vegas re-enters in. Here's Lausanne. Off the post, scores! Pavel Dorofeyev! On a broken play, Pavel Dorofeyev makes the most of it. On a deep shot that went off the inside the right post. The shoot first forward who broke out for a 35-goal season last year, he immediately thought shoot from that distance. And this goes right by Forsberg, and Forsberg wants to have that one back. He was slow to the reaction timing as it grazed off the inside of the post. And that's the first goal of this game, unassisted for Dorofeyev. At the near quarters is picked up now by Vegas. Colton Sissons there. Slap back over to Korczak. One man goes down. That was one of the Knights up front. From the far half boards is gloved down by the Knights. As Kolesar being pushed around several times. Kolesar backpedal and then move it up over to Howden. Howden banks it off the far quarter. Picked up now by Drew Doughty. Longest tenured defenseman on the Kings as this is bounced up off of Hill. And getting shoved now is Turcotte. The fourth line is out there. Move back towards the right point. Quick shot by Cork. Deflected up high and onto the mesh. Vegas gets on the board. It is 2-1. LA still leading. 3 minutes into this game is Dorofeyev with a quick release from the top of the right circle as he had some quick thinking off the post and in. And it looks like Dubois cuts over too far. And for recent reports, I know it's the middle of the game, but the Oilers will be signing Jack Roslovic to the team. The term is unknown. The money is unknown. Dorofeyev watching over with his guys. 2:59 gone in the second period. They put a second back. Defensive zone face-off for Vegas. It's an offensive zone draw for the Kings here. I believe that's Laferriere out there. The second line's on. It is Laferriere. But Byfield is tossed out. So Laferriere will have to take his place. William Karlsson on the opposite side of Laferriere. Karlsson wins it. It'll be picked up now by Vegas. It'll be Stone moving up. Smith dumped in for the near side. Back across. Karlsson swinging a miss on the pass. The Kings have it up. Far half boards as this is bounced up from Edmondson. Quinton Byfield in control. Byfield behind the net. Will feed it over. Drags it around into the right point. Now opposite side, Edmondson. Joe Edmondson to Laferriere. Alex Laferriere pivots. Now moves back. Laferriere dragged around. Mark Stone moving it back the other way off this takeaway. Dumping it down the near side of the ice. Sticked away by Quark. Kevin Fiala arrives, just bounced off the near corner. Fiala clears this one out. It'll be twisted and turned around with Marner picking it up. Mitch Marner waits behind. Laferriere poking at it. Back across. Noah Hannafin. Hannafin. Good pressure from Laferriere to try to get this one alive for the Kings at the Vegas zone. Good takeaway here by Kopitar as he keeps it in the zone. But he's hounded by two Knights. And possession goes back to Vegas. Marner all the way across. Good stick from Ceci. From the far half boards, this is sticked away as the Kings way to get the clear. Marner has the puck land to him. Now Eichel. Ceci's on him. Eichel trying to drive it away. Eichel of a hold of the puck. Still with it. Along the far side. Hannafin with a deep shot. Stopped by Forsberg. Comes back over to Eichel. But Jack Eichel spins around Ceci. Sturving. Still. The puck goes back to Dumoulin as he was looking around the boards. Cleared down by the Kings. But it's an icing. 4 shots this period for the Golden Knights compared to the Kings 0. This Eichel is taking a breather here. They'll get some fresh faces on the ice for Vegas. It'll be the hurdle line and all likelihood. Him, Dorofeyev, and Saad. A little bit of space, a little bit of room. Tie about to draw. The Knights backhand to keep it in. Dorofeyev hounded. And this will allow Dumoulin to pick it up. Down onto the near side. Where Kempe was there. Kopitar drops it off. Kings send it. Hill slowing it down. LA on the change now. As they can finally get their fresh faces on the ice. Saad tied up by Trevor Moore. The Thousand Oaks native. Korczak moves it up. Spinorama pass did not go too far. Drew Doughty up for Mikey Anderson as it takes a bounce. It's a 2-1 Kings lead. Tomas Hertl lost it. It'll be the Kings resetting. Near the Vegas bench, it'll be Anderson who got a stick onto it. Warren Foegele now. Foegele sends it down the near side. Hill comes out, plays it over far corner. The Golden Knights crisscross, but Foegele sends this in. Hill plays it again. Dangerously to Korczak as one of the Kings was there. To center ice, moving up now, and then gets way into the zone. It's Shea Theodore who backhands one off of Forsberg lazily, trying to keep play alive. Now at the far corner, Theodore centers one up. Nobody at the right point to keep this puck in as Foegele will send this down as it takes several bounces. It is McNabb. Past the 6-minute mark of this period. McNabb up the far boards. This takes a bounce several times and it'll be the Kings collecting. It is Quark. Braced himself for a hit. Dropping it off to Edmondson is Turcotte. Edmondson takes it in. Whitecloud cannot pursue it as Hannafin jumps onto it, taken away by Armia. On to the right point now. Where's Quark? Now Edmondson. Edmondson sends it over towards the slot. Picked up now by Armia. Turnaround shot. Takes a bounce onto the slot. Tipped away by Vegas. Kozar gets it out. And it'll be Quark resetting. The fourth line getting some action. Moving up to recollect this for the Knights is Zach Whitecloud. And the pass missed everybody. Icing here. So we'll stay here. 11 shots apiece between the Kings and the Knights. So we do have an update. Or do we? Yeah, Jack Roslovic was signed mid-game by the Edmonton Oilers as they're underway. So do wonder if some of the front office personnel were coming in to negotiate with him in the meantime. As we're getting back underway here, it seems that my feed was frozen, so I'm going to reset the feed. But it is 3-0 Edmonton. Leon Draisaitl was a power play goal. But no further doing here. 2-1 Kings. I am Alec Nava. We'll see you in a moment. Kings, nearly 7 minutes in. Bill Foley, the team owner, chairman, CEO, and governor, as Eichel was one of the players who was crucial to the Cup in 6th year in Vegas' 6th year of existence when they won the Stanley Cup. They were going to be fine, and they were perfectly fine. And Eichel, still going strong in his Vegas career, 100 career goals with them, signed an 8-year extension just today. Mark Stone off the face-off on the rush now with Smith on the near side. Eichel has a shot on goal, is 4 of 7 on face-offs. He improved his game as a defense on the defensive end under Bruce Cassidy. From the near corner, the Kings looking to pick this one up, and they will, only for it to be turned back over to Vegas. Taking it in now is Wild Bill. Fires one directly off of Forsberg, no rebound. 2-1 sends it up the far side. Vegas does a good job reading that pass intended for LaFerriere. All the Kings can do now is dump it in. Up the far corner is Fiala. Fiala trying to get some more for LA. So far in the second period, it's been all Vegas. Onto the zone now. On the right side, Whitecloud fires this one wide intentionally as it goes to Eichel. The top line's back out there. Eichel's long shot deflected wide. He was looking for Marner up front as the Kings move it up near side. Recollecting at the near side now are Vegas as Eichel moves up front as it's Barbashev. Barbashev's pass is blocked and the Kings will go back the other way. Kempe leads it. He has Kuzmenko with him. Kempe tries to rush. Kempe stick lift as he tried to pass to Kuzmenko. The puck bounces behind the net. And here are the Knights. Mitch Marner drops it off. Over to Jack Eichel. 3-on-3 as they enter. Marner stumbles and falls down. Barbashev to Eichel. Marner chasing after it against Doughty. Two Canadians going after one another as Marner spins around and passes. The puck was deflected wide over to the far corner. Intending for a play. Anderson gets it out. Anze Kopitar takes it in. Long shot fired wide. Wanted to test Aiden Hill. Shea Theodore has it. Theodore waits. Now goes to McNabb. Brandon McNabb up the far side. Taking up with the far half boards. It is Tomas Hertl behind the net. Hertl. Decked by Philip Deneau. My goodness, as is Korshak on the spinorama for Brandon Saad. Around Deneau. Saad runs into a King and it allows Warren Foegele to take it up. Foegele. All I can do is dump it down. No icing as it was across the red line. The Knights will have it as they will restart with possession. Hertl up for Korshak. Caden Korshak gets stopped and it draws the offside. Just shy of the blue line. As Mitch Marner tries to go after this puck. Drew Doughty's a good job tracking it down. One of the grizzled vet, Doughty, made a good job shutting off Marner and limiting his impact onto the ice. Brent Clark also does a good job forcing that offside as he poke checks Korshak and forces everyone to go offside on Vegas. The fourth line returns for the Kings. Fourth line gets fourth line. Sissons tossed out. Howden loses draw to Turcotte. Dumoulin up the near side. Intercepted by Korshak. It'll be Sissons moving up the far side of the ice. Sissons gets stopped by Ceci. Brett Howden and Colton Sissons dig after the puck right behind the net. And it gets poked away. At the near side now, this puck takes a bounce. And Turcotte with the race up the far side. Turcotte drops it off. Here's Cody Ceci walking in. Stopped by Hill and the rebound was swept away. Kept in by Marmia as Hill makes another stop. This one from long range. Kings are turning on the pace here midway in the second period as they want to get something more. Malott feeds Turcotte. Alex Turcotte shoved towards the boards. Malott tried to help out. Lausanne there. Korshak digs it out. Caden Korshak up to the far half boards as the Golden Knights get some changes. Walking in alone is Howden. Howden spins around Ceci. Dumoulin was there to poke it away. Dumoulin trying to clear. Byfield also there as well. Fiala carrying this one down. He'll send it around Hannafin. Whitecloud will carry this one up towards the near side. Mark Stone up to the far side as this Wild Bill. William Carlson testing Forsberg. He'll stop it and hold on. And midway through the second period, it's still a 2-1 Los Angeles lead. here at Las Vegas. I am Alec Nava. Stay tuned when we get back. More than 30 minutes played here. And this is Bruce Cassidy's 4th year as the Vegas Golden Knights head coach. This is his 12th season as a head coach in the NHL. He won the Stanley Cup with Vegas in his first year there after he was fired by the Boston Bruins. He went to a Stanley Cup final before with the Bruins in 2019, losing to the St. Louis Blues in 7 games. So they were coached by Craig Berube. Berube expects improvement from the Toronto Maple Leafs in year 2 of his tenure, despite losing Marner in the offseason. Dorofeyev, 2 shots on goal, with one of them hitting the net. Now this one around the back of the net as it's collected at the near corner off the faceoff. Kings trying to get it out, but the Knights are all over it as Howden backhands it just at the line to keep it in for a split second before Anderson gets it out, and it's ice. It did not make the red line to gain. 9:06 on the clock. As we have Bruce Cassidy, 391 wins by a head coach since the 2017 season. John Cooper leads the way with 426. Peter DeBoer, 399. Out of an NHL head coaching job right now. Cassidy, if he wins, he'll break a 2-way tie of Jared Bednar for the 3rd most at this current moment, but these two are going to be fighting neck and neck for that. Mike Sullivan has the 5th most at 376. He has an active job right now. Now with the New York Rangers, whose guys surprisingly lost to the Pittsburgh Penguins yesterday. 2 goals from Justin Brazeau. The Knights trying to rally back from down 2-0 as it's Jack Eichel trying to pass across, but that pass was blocked off nicely by Fiala, only to be turned back over to Vegas. Here's Eichel walking in for the far side. Eichel fires, rebound there! Nice stick by Quentin Byfield to not get a grade A shot look from close distance. And as it is iced, what a scare that was, and Byfield might have just protected this 2-1 lead. As Eichel got the initial shot, the rebound was there on the money for Mitch Marner. Byfield with an excellent stick lift to prevent that from going through. What a game that Byfield's been having. And what improvement that he's showing year after year with Jim Hiller. Great scoring chances for this young buck. And whether there's going to be a penalty or not was up to the question. 6-5 scoring chances to slash to the Kings. Long shot was covered up by Forsberg. And that will be covered up so the Kings can make their changes. What a sequence as Byfield was all over this puck. That shot was going to be at the back of the net if Marner got a stick on it. But if not for Byfield, that was likely going to happen as Eichel goes to the bench. Marner's there too. 17-13. The shots on goal in favor of the Golden Knights. Now at the near side is Adrian Kempe. Long stretch pass. No icing. The intention was that he was going to find Andrei Kuzmenko. Up the far side now as Vegas recollects from their own zone. Waiting now and moving up the ice as this is Tomas Hertl. Brendan Saad cuts out the pass with Brent Clark. Kuzmenko helping out Clark. Here's Kempe. Had a stick onto him that was Hadafin. He decides to dump it in. Hill slowing it down. He'll go to Saad, the former Chicago Blackhawk. Brandon Saad waits with it. Waiting some more as he smoothly and calmly skating up. Vegas sends it in deep from the near side is Zach Whitecloud. An open Brandon Saad over the far half boards. It'll be the Kings starting it up with possession. Anderson up the near side. Kuzmenko shoved towards the near half boards. Korshak sticked it away. That was Lausanne actually. Hertl on this board battle trying to dig it out. Danault is also there. Haven't said his name in a lot. Puck comes loose to the Swallows, picked up by the Knights, but kept in by Danault. Tic-tac-toe, Fogle to Moore. Sticked away for the moment by Dorofeyev and Lausanne, with Fogle trying to keep it alive. Fogle's been a natural fit on this bird line next to Danault. And Moore cleared out by the Golden Knights. Restarted now by the Kings. Philip Danault near the penalty box. Sent up. William Karlsson moves it up through the near side with Mark Stone and Riley Smith. 10-3 the shots on goal in favor of the Knights in this period. The pass back to the point was read by Fogle. He'll get it out. Moved over to Smith. Vegas resetting once again. They'll enter the zone with Karlsson and McNabb. Karlsson with Armia on his face. William Karlsson protecting it. Stone. CC's on him as Stone sends it back. Fyodor fakes a one-timer. Slaps one and that was deflected but blocked. Jeff Malott moves it up the other way. Malott gets sticked away. One-timer, Armia! He scores! Joe Armia, welcome to LA! A nice pass from Alex Turcotte. Set that one up from the far half boards. He finds the wide open Armia, who made the quick decision to fire it home from the top of the right circle as soon as he arrived. That might have hit Malott, actually. At the front of the net, it changed direction. It's a crash and bang from this fourth line, in which they caused all sorts of chaos. Jeff Malott gets the goal, but what a pass from Alex Turcotte to get the Kings up by 2 goals again. The Golden Knights have won their last 6 season openers. Kings looking to end that tonight. Vegas recollects at their own zone. Armia from Turcotte and Malott, but we'll have to check it again to see who exactly it hit off of. It did change direction. From the far corner, it will be sent around to the left point with Anderson. Armia. Shoved once and twice by Lausanne. Held inside by Turcotte. Malott. Jeff Malott sends a deep shot, but that could not go. Armia keeps. Armia in some trouble. Fiala's out there on the ice. Held out on the right point. It'll be sent in deep. Lausanne blocks the way on Turcotte, and here's a penalty. And some more. Pushing and shoving happens afterwards. And this disagreement escalates into a shoving match. And no glove punches at the end of it. So we'll see what the penalty is when we come back, as the officials are talking to Alex Turcotte. He is likely going to be the guilty party. So it's Lausanne. Yes, he was pushed, so it's a boarding call. Everyone's going to have to sort it out in just a moment. Caden Korshak pushed Turcotte in retaliation. No penalty for that retaliation act from Korshak. And a shame chance. And he'll be sent out in a moment. So the power play will be coming up soon enough. I am Alec Nava. It's 3-1 Kings. Turcotte 2 for boarding. The final results are Turcotte gets 5 minutes for boarding, no game misconduct, as there's no injury here. Caden Korczak gets 2 minutes for roughing. Will he 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, and then it'll be a 3-minute power play for the Golden Knights. So as soon as Turcotte shoved Lausanne over to the boards, Korczak retaliated in response, and Jim Hiller is not pleased at all. He did not like it at all. That was poor discipline from Turcotte on that sequence. Oof, not a good look. And here, as we're getting back into the action with everyone getting ready to go in just a moment. And Matvei Gridin scores his first goal in his NHL debut. Well, congratulations to the youngster. Gridin, 92 for the Calgary Flames. It's a little mini timeout trying to get everything sorted up. 5:40 to go here in this second period, by the way. Kings 3, Golden Knights 1. I am Alec Nava on the play-by-play. Is Kopitar was out there opposite Eichel. Everything is all over the place here for both teams. Quinton Byfield is there. Well, thought it was going to be Kopitar. And it's going to be 4-on-4. The faceoff will be at center ice. Eichel and Marner. Byfield is out there too alongside Kempe. So we're backguard away. No game misconduct for Turcotte. It'll be Eichel from the near side. Weaving his way through. Gets stopped by Anderson. And this will be Doughty. The other defenseman here on this 4-on-4 unit. Adrian Kempe. With Quinton Byfield. Drops it off. Byfield speeds up the action. Byfield timing his way in. Still with the puck. Drops out for Anderson. Now around for Kempe. Takes it out because he didn't like what he sees. Byfield, Kempe, CC Doughty, Eichel, Marner, McNabb, Theodore. Here's Mitch Marner in his Vegas debut. And that is stopped by Forsberg. Felt like we're not seeing a lot of him in the last few minutes, but there he made his mark with his first shot in a while. Got shot off by Quinton Byfield as he had a tap-in goal on a silver platter. Had not been for Byfield. Marner with the quick shot. And Drew Doughty tried to get his stick onto Marner. 1:20 to go here. Left on 4-on-4. Now they're switching things up. Kopitar, Fiala, Edmondson, and Clark. Dorofeyev, Hurdle. Hanifin, Whitecloud. From the boys, Hanifin. Feeding it up for Whitecloud. Now back over to Hanifin. Waiting over at the left point as he and Whitecloud exchange spots. Kopitar is there. No stick there for one of the defenders as Hanifin. Kopitar without a stick as his was broken. Now back over to Whitecloud. Dropped it off. Going down low for Dorofeyev as he cycles the back of the net. Dorofeyev feeds it over. Over to Hanifin. Tried to go for Hurdle. The pass was picked off. And Edmondson will clear this one out. Stopping his Clark. He'll go across for Fiala. Kevin Fiala taking this one around for the net. Fiala stops in his tracks. Sets up in front. And glove down to Swat. And taken up by Fiala. The backhander. Shut down. Puck is cleared but not out. As Dumoulin holds his own. He'll get the puck back from Fiala. Dumoulin. CC. Fiala fakes the one-timer. Trying to make the most before the power play comes on. Dumoulin's long shot. Glove down by Hill. He'll cover up with 3:55 left in the second period. A terrific save from Aiden Hill. All sorts of chaos and bounced off of Tomas Hurdle with Dorofeyev gloving this one down, trying to clear this one away, but Fiala saw it. Glove save from Hill. Could have been disastrous though. Now the detail is $1.5 million for the 1 year. Vogel, Byfield, and Dumoulin. And Cece is also out there on the 4-on-4. Carlson, Smith, McNabb, and Theodore. Vegas will have it as they're waiting up for the power play. They got their units out there ready up to begin with as Theodore sends one around, grabbed by Smith. They're starting with the second unit out here on the 3-minute power play. It's Shea Theodore. Theodore sends this one down over towards the near corner. Riley Smith there. Theodore whacking at it. And back over to Theodore. Cross ice pass blocked out by Vogel. Hannafin could not keep it in. And the Kings will change to their other penalty kill unit as the Knights power play just started. Riley Smith sent it up over to Barbashev towards the near corner. Turcotte and Malott are both out there for penalty killing duties. Puck skips past the blue line as Hannafin tried to play it across for Carlson, and the Knights will change their top unit, which means that Marner is going to get on the ice. Around the near side boards, collect up at the far side, setting up for a one-timer Dorofeyev, and that is stopped by Forsberg. So Mike Malott is a current UFC fighter. That's it. He's going to be fighting Ben Hoover next weekend. Jeff Malott being a fourth-line grinder on the Kings. Oh. Jeff Malott, throughout his career, he's been more of known as a fourth-line plug. Defensive-minded player. Here's Mitch Marner from the point. Walks around and finds Dorofeyev. Shut off. Still walking with the point as Anderson was on him. Fence it off over to Marner. Now back down low. Eichel. Marner. Walking the point. Eichel. One more time as he sends it over down deep. Walks over across Dorofeyev. He scores! Dorofeyev doubles down! And they will stay on the power play. The Kings apply constant pressure, but the Knights read it nicely with Trevor Moore going down deep. The open hole from Mark Stone. Dorofeyev was low open at the side of the net, and Stone set it up. A nice pass from Stone to collect it from Jack Eichel as he read it from the point as Trevor Moore was on him. Dorofeyev got this one off right past the stick of Mikey Anderson. Doubt he can't get a stick as the Knights re-enter. Stone, with Vegas staying on the power play because it's 5 minutes. If it's 2 minutes, the power play ends. Eichel dives. It seems like there might not be a penalty here by LA, or there is. Yes, there is going to be a penalty by LA. Aiden Hill is left to the bench. LA shouldn't touch it until right now. 1:53 to go, and now it's going to be a 2-minute advantage. Tripping against Alex Laferriere. So Vegas will be on a 5-on-3 situation. Yeah, Jack Eichel got all the space taken away from by Alex Laferriere, and that's another tripping penalty against the Kings. .153 left in the second period. We do get another whistle. If you're Bruce Cassidy, you want to take your chances. All right. Let's see what the Knights do. 3-2. That's the Kings sweep. The Knights can tie it with one goal here on the man advantage. Kings rush to it, and they'll take some time out here with the puck. Kopitar sends it down. It falls directly onto the stick of Marner. The Knights have their top unit out here on this 2-man advantage. Jack Eichel going back for Mitch Marner. Mark still wants to set up up front. Eichel across, and that could not find Dorofeyev. He has it though. Eichel again. The Knights trying to set up nicely. Mitch Marner. Eichel shoots, and Forsberg was in position. Doughty tried to block this one off as it comes back over to Eichel. Now back around. Here he is. He and Stone trade places. Mark Stone's there. Across. And Dorofeyev can't shoot this one towards the net. Not a good look. Marner gets this one towards the goal. Forsberg covers up nicely. 25 seconds left in the Turcotte penalty. 25 seconds left on the man advantage. 105 left in the period, but the confidence of this Knights power play is buzzing right now. That they're moving effortlessly with the puck. As Jack Eichel finds the open lane, and even though he was closed off, Dorofeyev had a good look. Can't get this one off for a one-timer. Another quick shot. One arrive for Mitch Marner. 65 seconds remaining for this 5-4 power play on the 5-on-3. False start on the face-off. And Tomas Hertl was not too pleased with that false start. He's going to go on the right wing now. Eichel's going to take it in his place. 4 shots for Jack on the man advantage. 25 seconds left. One back over to Marner. He waits. Right out with Stone. Dorofeyev knocks it down, going to Marner. Eichel moves in. Doughty going down the block. Here's Stone. Dorofeyev can't close it down. Comes back to Eichel. Side for Marner. Now Eichel. He waits. Stone. Dorofeyev scores! Let the hats rain! Pavel Dorofeyev doubling down again, this time on the power play. An electric power play, tying this game up at 3. And what a time for this electric player. And now he can do no wrong as Dorofeyev finds the back of the net twice. Right place, right time as he has always been. Off the top of the net, past the crossbar. It went in and out in a hurry. Top shelf. What a shot as he had all day to fire that from down low. The Hats are still rating. 3rd career hat trick for this young breakout forward, Dorofeyev, who got an expanded look on the top power play unit. He never scored 30 goals in a season until last year. Dorofeyev, who wears 16 in Vegas, on the night the other 16, Mitch Marner, arrives in Vegas. And this is poetry in motion. The Philadelphia Phillies have forced Game 4 at Los Angeles. 8-2 the final score at Dodger Stadium. So, this will need another game. This went top shelf as Forsberg wanted to go coast to coast, but didn't get a good look as Dorofeyev. What a night for him. Everyone's happy for him. What does a goalie think when you have a cross-ice pass insert there? All times, Mark Stone was both times Mark Stone had the primary assist on the man advantage. 5 shots on goal for Dorofeyev, 8 attempts. 3 goals at the end. Fans chanting Eichel in celebration as we're back to 5-on-5. 3 goals. Back to 5-on-5 now. Dorofeyev from Stone and Eichel again. As has been the case in the second Dorofeyev goal. Here's Marner. The pass couldn't connect for Theodore. Recollected by Eichel, now back for Theodore. Long stretch pass was knocked away. Collected up by Vegas. 18 seconds. The Golden Knights scored all their goals here in this second period, and they have rallied back from 3-1 down. Kick saving the beauty from Forsberg on Marner. 7 seconds to go as Dano is all over the puck. Chip back onto the left side of the defensive line as this one takes a bounce. Last-ditch effort, and Eichel's tied up at the buzzer by Deneau. And after 2, well, it's once a 3-1 lead by the Kings. It's now a 3-3 tie, thanks to Pavel Dorofeyev. And when we return, we'll have the second intermission report, with Dorofeyev scoring 3 for the Golden Knights. One of them off the post, one of them on a wide open net, and another one on another wide open net. I'm Alec Nava. Stay tuned, everyone, and may the Hats keep raiding down in Vegas. The Kings were leading 3-1, but Alex Turcotte just committed a boneheaded boarding penalty, and Jim Hiller was upset about it. He's even more upset because of that. I'm Alec Nava. What was a 2-0 Kings lead and also a 3-1 Kings lead is all even up at 3 apiece. And though Pavel Dorofeyev had an unassisted goal to open off the second period, Joe Armia made it 3-1, but this one-timer set up by Alex Turcotte has just been confirmed. It did not bounce off of Jeff Molot, even though he provided the screen up front. Then Dorofeyev made Turcotte pay for that boarding penalty. Mark Stone and Jack Eichel assisted on his 2 power play goals, and they were similar to the way that Stone set up Dorofeyev. Now, meanwhile, it is 3-2 Oilers. Despite the Oilers scoring the first 3 goals of this game, Matvei Gredin and Connor Zary have cut it to a thin 1. Draisaitl from David Tomashik and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Tomashik came over from overseas, signed a 1-year deal with Edmonton. Zary from Adam Klapka. The Draisaitl and Zary goals have came on the man advantage. So to recap, the Phillies and the Dodgers. Ranger Suarez got the win. Yoshinobu Yamamoto the loss. 6 hits again that he allowed. Strikeout just 2. Tommy Edman began things with a homer, but in between came 8 Phillies runs. Kyle Schwarber with a long bomb. Alec Bohm with an RBI single. Brandon Marsh sacrificed fly to left. JT Realmuto with a home run. And Schwarber and Realmuto's those home runs were solo shots. Trey Turner's RBI single scored Max Kepler and Nick Castellanos. Then Schwarber's second home run scored in Turner. Following that up, Edmonds drove in Kike Hernandez, and that was all. You didn't need to use any of your high leverage relievers. Ryan Kerkering, Taiwan Walker, Tanner Banks were the relievers used for the Phillies. And for the Dodgers, it was Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Anthony Banda, Jack Dreyer, Clayton Kershaw in relief. Well, playoff Kershaw is not really the prettiest sight. As we're here at the second intermission, as he said, says to look through just a day after they extended McDavid's extension, they extended Matthias Ekholm for 3 more years, $4 million per year. So you look at the winners and losers. It's only a 2-year extension, so McDavid's gonna have a lot of questions of why he chose that term and what it means for the future. But then after those questions are asked and answered, he's gonna be focused on winning a Stanley Cup and a gold medal for Canada without being burdened with speculation. Those questions can wait until at least September 2027. This was before the first puck was dropped on the season. Was assumed that he wanted that way. Oiler fans have to be happy. And when Oiler fans would say McDavid wasn't going anywhere, that sounded more aspirational. Perhaps this season would be the last shot. Or maybe during this window. Maybe he decided to play for one of the NHL's best franchises. Or one that he felt had a longer contention window than Edmonton's. Teary-eyed news conferences of the past filled their memories. Like the time that the greatest player in franchise history ended up being traded to the Kings. The Kings were even one of the teams that had the cap space ready for McDavid next summer. But he chose Edmonton. Not for the long term, at least not now. But he chose them. To continue living there, to continue playing there. Because he wants a cup. Knowing the $12.5 million cap hit. Everyone else will have to wait for speculation. No McDavid going to Toronto or New York or Los Angeles to elevate those teams into cup favorites. No hearing the faint sounds of the Imperial March. But the smart money was always on him staying in Edmonton. Didn't mean the rest of us can't be a little bummed that he left all the fun on the table. Along with over $100 million in free agent riches. Stan Bowman, the GM of the Oilers, low-key making smart moves after smart moves. Did it with Ekholm and then Wallman. McDavid decided he wanted to ink a 2-year extension. It was after months of contemplation about whether, and if so, for how long, he wanted to commit. Part of the process was sitting down with Bowman to hear the GM's plans for the Oilers moving forward. And ultimately, they got to remain an Oiler for a few more runs at the Stanley Cup. Now, one could say that the pitch enticed him to remain with the Oilers for only 2 more years beyond this one, which might not say much for its effectiveness. One could say that McDavid, having essentially given Bowman money out of his pocket to spend, should empower the player to have more say in organizational decisions. But no franchise player has the kind of pull within the organization. Chris Knobloch coached McDavid in juniors on his new contract given to him by Jeff Jackson, CEO of hockey operations and used to be McDavid's agent. Well, the Oilers' runway is where it gets tricky. Building a team around McDavid and fellow Oilers superstar Leon Draisaitl that can finally win a Stanley Cup, or failing that, one that convinces McDavid that the future in Edmonton is bright enough for him not to take his stuff and leave in 28. But there's frankly a better chance of the former happening than the latter. The defending Western Conference champions brought back most of the same roster after last season, although the loss of Corey Perry could doom their Stanley Cup final karma. But after that, Bombers had some decent money coming off a rising cap next summer, including both goaltenders in Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard. Slammed out a countdown clock until the restaurant. Successor goes bust, just like Uncle Jimmy in Season 4 of The Bear. But another winner, GM empowerment. Every GM has, at some point, tried to sell a player of an expiring contract on taking a little less to help the team in a salary cap league. Most times, that player will refuse to be the victim of past contractual mistakes by management. Maybe there's a small hometown discount, but the Stars want to be paid as such. It used to be Sidney Crosby was the model for contractual sacrifice. He used the same $8.7 million cap hit since the 2009 season. Back then, it was 15.3% the cap. On his latest extension, 9.1%. As of now, McDavid will make 12% the cap next season, though that can still decrease. That's a team-friendly deal to the point it's not even the highest paid player on the Oilers. The Oilers win that 2-year deal. They have proof of that concept. And Leon Draisaitl, another winner. His decision to sign an 8-year extension through 2033 did not mean that McDavid would commit long-term to the Oilers too. Draisaitl will have McDavid feeding him pucks for the next 3 seasons at a minimum. 3 times better than just having him for the 2025-6 season, which is certainly a possibility as McDavid mold his future as a pending UFA. It's not ideal, but not catastrophic. He's still the highest paid player on the Oilers. Who saw that coming? And another window, McDavid's legacy. Assuming he plays the full term, McDavid will give him Edmonton 13 years of his life after a bunch of draft lottery balls bounced the Oilers' way in 2015 in pursuit of the Stanley Cup. He got them to 2 straight Cup finals and 3 conference finals overall. The point was just the second skater in NHL history to win playoff MVP in a losing effort. Two additional seasons might not sit well with some Edmonton fans, especially after Draisaitl committed to 8 more years. But the majority of fans likely see this as McDavid propping the contention window open by leaving Scrooge McDuck Moneyman of free agent riches on the table and giving the Oilers added cap flexibility. If he leaves in 28, he wouldn't have abandoned Edmonton. It'd be after giving his franchises everything. If it ends without a cup, it'll be the Oilers' legacy to have squandered it. So, as Connor Bedard is getting ready for this season, and the Flames have tied it. Blake Coleman, 40 seconds in for the Calgary Flames to knot it up at 3. Speaking of the Battle of Alberta between the Oilers and the Flames. Fortunately, we see no space. But what a trailer that was. Oh, and that was a feel-good story. But we'll have the San Jose Sharks without a captain for the first time since the 2015 season. Though the main alternate captain is Tyler Toffoli. He'll wear the A on every night. Jack Eichel landing an 8-year extension was good enough. Tomorrow will be the 2 NLDS Game 4s. The first is the Dodgers hosting the Phillies, and then the Cubs hosting the Brewers. The Dodgers lead their series 2-1, and the Brewers lead their series 2-1. A win by these 2 teams will send them to the NLCS. When we come back, it'll be the third period. The Kings free, the Golden Knights free. I am Alec Navas. Stay tuned, everyone. It is 3-3 after 2. We'll see how things go for the third period. Well, I should have just said it is 3-3 entering 3. So this is two power play goals from Pavel Dorofeyev. The NHL on TNT was using the MLB on TBS theme. Well, and again, the MLB on TBS just got wrapped up with the Phillies and Dodgers just recently. The Phillies won that 8-2. See what happens in Game 4 of that series. What decision the Dodgers make at the mound. And who the Phillies counter to send out up against. But overall, the better team has been the Golden Knights. And so to answer the question, Quoquio, do we think the Knights can still win? I think with the way they played the second period, yes, they can. That they have taken advantage of the Kings' mistakes, especially the Turcotte penalty. Here we go for the third period. We'll see if Vegas can storm back and win a 7th straight home opener. And we'll see if Mitch Marner can get on the board here, the points. Vegas trailed 3-1 in the second period. They scored 2 power play goals, both from Pavel Dorofeyev, who has a hat trick tonight. Right behind the net as Noah Hannafin sticked it over to Brett Howard as the fourth line begins this third period for the Knights. Hannafin batted down by Fiala. Here's Laferriere, closing in. Laferriere, kick saved by Hill. Picked up by Byfield, who's having quite the game tonight here for the Kings. Byfield closed off. This bounces off of a Knight in front and taken up by Whitecloud. Whitecloud over towards the near side. Winning the race is Anderson. The puck was dumped in ahead of the red line. Drew Doughty. Marner forced him to do a spinorama. Marner diving for the puck. Doughty evades it. Feeds it over far side. Eichel in pursuit. Fire towards Hill. He'll cover. 55 seconds into the third period. Oh. And another development, this was earlier today, Alex Goligoski has joined the Minnesota Wild as a player development advisor. And one of the strangest goals being from the Joe Armia slapper. So they have corrected the third goal as Jeff Malott from Joe Armia and Alex Turcotte. It took a bounce off of him. They have corrected that third Kings goal. Malott is credited, though Armia at the slapper. It was last touched by Malott right off his back. Up at the near half boards. Played out by the Kings as they move it up for the far side. Picked up now by Barbashev. He is surrounded multiple times. Jack Eichel flips it over. This one over the head of Dumoulin. It will be iced. Cody Ceci touches up. We will go to the Vegas end. So Eichel's line have to stay out there. And what a night it's been for the fourth line for the Kings with Jeff Malott. He comes onto the ice and he challenges Josh Manson to a fight after Manson walloped Warren Fogle. That type of toughness is nice for Malott. And that grittiness is exactly what is needed of the Kings. One-timer. Stopped by Hill and the rebound swept away. Eichel. It is Kuzmenko, Byfield, and Malott the goals as it's iced again. Dorofeyev has all 3 goals for the Golden Knights. If McNabb is banged up, then it's going to be a lot of changes as McNabb goes up. He's going to walk down the tunnel or not. He's going to get checked in by the medical staff right now. So we'll see the play that banged up McNabb. He took a shot that bounced off of him and it stung him. He's getting checked on right now. So he subs out. Jeremy Lauzon takes his place. On this face-off, it is Lauzon who picks it up. Barbashev flipping this over above the head of, well, I believe that was, can't get a number, that was Noah. Carried across now by William Karlsson as he takes it in. Karlsson lost it as he was dispossessed. Slammed down was Dano. It's more across. No King was there. Delayed offside. It was actually an intentional icing against LA, I think. Joe Edmondson was the one and that was nearest to it. Anze Kopitar, 20th season in the NHL. This is his last. He is announcing retirement. He will be done by the end of this year. So one member of the Another member of the 2014 team gone. One of the two last remaining members of that team, the other being Drew Doughty, with the departure of Trevor Lewis. Up the ice, Caden Korsak gets it up. Kopitar, three-time Lady Byng winner and a two-time Selke Trophy winner. One of the best defensive forwards and one of the most gentlemanly. And while he's not overly physical, he is aggressive on the stick checks. Tomas Hertl sends it in. Dano cuts off the collection and will be sending it back for Anderson. Lazan keeps Hertl there. Saad fighting for this loose puck at the near half boards. Ward nearly got it out. It is Lazan from deep, and the rebound collected by Dano in the slot. And a wacky sequence has this puck go out of the zone. Re-entering is Saad. Across the ice, wide, collected by Turcotte. Anderson. Mikey Anderson plays this one up and over. Back over towards the Vegas end. Moved up as this takes a bounce. Now up the ice is Malott. Malott face one up front. And this was loose in a slot collected by the Knights. No shot in there. Keeping it at the right point are the Kings. Sticked away by Malott as Hannafin wants to play it out away from Armia. But it's held in by Turcotte. Vegas gets it out. Swinging a miss by Cece. On the chase down is Smith, who wins the foot race. Carlson there as well. Smith fighting Carlson but lands onto the stick of Turcotte. Armia up the near half boards. Recollected now by White Cloud as he'll restart the attack. White Cloud sends it up, takes a bounce off a stick, pass down low. It is deflected away with Vegas trying to keep. At that far corner, Stone. The Kings have it. Cece, who'll deliver for Kevin Fiala. Knocked down by Hill, who'll settle it down. The Kings trying to get the go-ahead goal after allowing the last two goals, both to Dorofeyev. 2-1 the shots in favor of the Kings in this third period. LaFerriere tried to come back with this, but Carlson was there. White Cloud around Byfield. Could not get it. It's Fiala keeping it in. LaFerriere. Nice block off the stick by McNabb, who is back onto the ice after he was off onto the benches to get checked up after he was stung by that shot block. So we're checking is a errant goal that Stuart Skinner gave up. And one of our first, if you're a goaltender, tend to goal moments, is Blake Coleman was there, Johnny on the spot to knock it home 40 seconds in the Edmonton-Calgary game. Game is at Edmonton. And the Oilers trying to get off to a good start. They have had a habit of getting off to shaky starts. Vegas won 26 faceoffs, LA 17. The Knights win the faceoff. It is Shea Theodore saying this down. And here is Kolesar. The pass too far for him, but he collects it at the far corner. Gets slammed. Howden frees it up on the backhand. Kolesar tied up. Out in front. It's loose. Sissons. Howden tripped up. Kolesar will move it as he is heading towards the far corner. As Ian is set to join in here as this is loose in the slot. Kolesar could not poke it home. Keegan Kolesar. Braden McNabb. Free space up near corner. Kolesar gets shoved near corner. The Kings. Big hit. What a boom by Keegan Kolesar and Brett Howden as Sissons turns around, fires off of Anton Forsberg as it's Braden McNabb. He waits, winds, blocked. That was Adrian Kempe who got the block, and this one dumped down directly onto Aiden Hill. The Knights have missed 10 shots, the Kings just 2. Barbashev, what a weave there to get to Marner. Eichel, he scores! Mitch Marner's first point as a Knight is a goal by Jack Eichel. He got paid handsomely earlier in the day. Jack Eichel will call Vegas home up until 2034, and he gets Vegas their first lead tonight. One-timer and a doozy as Marner finds Eichel wide open. Top shelf from the top of the left circle. What up here? They high-five. They're like brothers who just reunited for the first time in ages in the way they celebrated. High-five, bro. Boom. Oh, man. That's got to feel good. And now Vegas is back up. Eichel from Marner and Barbashev officially as it is taken up at the far side. The Kings having to have an answer. The Golden Knights have won 7 straight home openers. Alex Laferriere gets cut off. Quinton Byfield trying to keep it alive. Lausanne there. Fiala be taken up by Vegas as they go coast to coast. Here is Noah Hannafin. He wants another one. Glove saved by Forsberg as it's held inside by Vegas for the moment, but Byfield collects it. He's been arguably the Kings' best player tonight and taking the reins. Getting ready to take the reins from Anze Kopitar in the retirement. Drew Doughty up the near side. Free and answer goals by the Golden Knights. And here they come again. 2-on-2. Brandon Saad pinned towards the wall by Cody Ceci. Here's Hurdle. He looks back. A deep one-timer. Takes a bounce and right into the glove of Anton Forsberg. What a game this has been, Ian. I'm glad you joined here for the right moment. What a game. Uh-oh. We're going to get him back right now, but what a game this has been. Third period, and the Knights, they take the lead with Mitch Marner getting his first point as a Knight. They set up Jack Eichel on a one-timer. Wow. So, Ian, I'm glad you came on board for the best possible time. How are you doing, man?
Just got off work.
Woo.
Just got off work. Happy to be here.
Oh, you know, there's a certain phrase that we want to say in the aftermath of what happened earlier tonight, and there are Maple Leafs fans who stayed over at the end, minutes after the end of that game against the Canadiens, for what happened over at Yankee Stadium, where Vlad Guerrero Jr. joined the rest of us and Big Papi in saying this. You know what it is, Ian? The Yankees lose.
Yes, sir, they do, and dear Lord. You know, my prediction was off by one game, but I knew, Alec. You cannot trust them.
Yeah, that is true, especially in the playoffs. And this was despite Aaron Judge being the team's best player in the postseason. He came in hot, and he continued that hot run, and it showed. It's when he hit that tying run, a home run at Game 3 of that series. But my goodness, what in the world happened to that bullpen? As we're back here, so what in the world happened to starting rotation? Max Fried got shelled. Luis Hill similarly. What?
All I can tell you what happened. It's what I figured all along. The Yankees got on a hot streak, and they eventually faced someone who was superior and got exposed for what they were. Merchants.
Yeah, and this was with the Blue Jays doing a bullpen game. And the Blue Jays bullpen isn't exactly world beaters, to be honest. Especially Jeff Hoffman.
Nope. And you know what? Let's see what happens between Seattle and Detroit, but I'll say this, man. I'll say this. The freaking the Blue Jays, they look like the instant favorites to go to the World Series.
If Seattle makes it to the ALCS, it makes it all the more interesting. We'll have to see what happens, as Vegas had some more chances. One of them was stopped by Anton Forsberg. And yes, I'm saying Forsberg because Kemper got the start yesterday. And here comes Keegan Colasar as he tried to drop it off for Brett Howden. I had to get things out in a hurry because everything was going too fast. You know, everything happens is too fast in hockey. But that's the beauty of hockey. It's fast-paced, and all the action happens so fast. 28-18, the shots in favor of the Golden Knights. The Kings had a 3-1 lead before Alex Turcotte took a 5-minute penalty for boarding. No game misconduct, as they ruled it, but it was Pavel Dorofeyev who sparked the comeback on a hat trick as Forsberg stops it on his side. Dorofeyev had a hat trick, and then Jack Eichel got the go-ahead goal on a nice feed from, guess who, Ian? The new guy, Mitch Marner. And he's out there right now. 11:40 left in the third period, and perhaps some more Marner magic. Could that be on the horizon? He has his first point as a Knight. He registered 3 shots on 16:20 ice time. Similar strategy for how the Knights are deploying their power play to how the Leafs did last year's postseason. 5 fours on the top unit with Marner as the power play quarterback. So far, that's working. 8-year, $96 million contract with the Knights on the sign and trade with Toronto, acquired for Nick Waugh. Up the far side as the Kings re-enter, looking to tie this insane game here. It's only the second day of the regular season. Already we're seeing another great game. Chance for another goal. Here's Eichel! Another one! Another one for Jack Eichel! Set up by Ivan Barbashev. It's 5-3. 4 unanswered for the Knights as they defend their fortress.
Oh, man. Vegas. Picking up right where they left off.
The passing play has been immaculate. And you know, mental issues have been a key that really is something that the Kings need to address. It's actually Barbashev's goal. Eichel fed it back to Barbashev onto the wide open net. Nothing that Forsberg could do. So Eichel gets his second and point of this period. He has a go-ahead goal, and that could be an insurance marker. And ever since Turcotte took that 5-minute penalty, everything just went downhill for the Kings. You cannot take those penalties in these key moments of the game because the Golden Knights have one of the best power plays in the league. And here they are on an offside. Somebody was well off. The puck was poked wide, and the Kings were offside. They didn't realize this, and now we got a skirmish at the near corner of the Vegas zone in the meantime. Well, these are division rivals, and they do not like each other.
No. And in other news, the Flames and the Oilers are tied at 3. You know, I said the Oilers, you know, I made the prediction that they'd miss the playoffs. I still believe that there's a chance they could happen.
Oh, and for the first time, we have our first if you're a goaltender 10 to goal moment with Stuart Skinner. Goodness gracious. Here is Brent Clark. The Kings trying to get an answer back. They have allowed 4 unanswered. Philip Deneau, all the way back for Joe Edmondson. Clark lets one go, stopped by Hill. The rebound is over at the near corner. Picked up now by Hurdle. Looked like somebody tripped up, and now it's loose. Deneau hit the side of the cage. Wide open in front as there's Knights all over the crease, and it's cleared down. Is this going to be ice? It will not. Nice job by Vegas to not ice the puck as it's picked up by the former St. Louis Blue Joe Edmondson. Poked away! And here's Mark Stone! Airmails the shot right over Edmondson's stick. Carlson fights him again. Kick save. The rebound. Another save by Forsberg. He's behind the net. As he gets this one off, here's McNabb. He moves up front. McNabb fires. Blocked. McNabb getting it back. The way penalty against the Kings. Shea Theodore keeps it. And the Kings touch up. Vegas goes back to the power play. And when it rains, it's going to pour. That's twice that Mark Stone had an opportunity to expand this to 6-3. Vegas has been the better team ever since this second period. 4 points for Jack Eichel tonight. He had 2 on the power play, but here he's been dominating. Going to break.
So the Yankees lost, the Cubs survived, the Tigers survived, and the Phillies survived.
Oh, sets the stage for Friday for Game 5 between Seattle and Detroit. Now, I did talk to John. He's going to be busy by that point, though admittedly, my status for Friday is up in the air. And if I can go, I'll see if I can get Cooper to join by that point, if he's available.
Oh, I don't know if he's gonna have the stomach for that. A Game 5 elimination, a Game 5 in the ALDS. As a Mariners fan, even as a Tigers fan, but as a Mariners fan, yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
It's no secret that T-Mobile Park is a pitcher's park. And so what we can expect for Game 5 is that it's going to be another low-scoring contest. Let's say somewhere along the lines of, would I say 3-1? Would it be fair?
3-1. 3-1 who?
Mariners, let's assume.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, and because it's at T-Mobile Park, that basically cancels out any advantage that either team has, and all the advantages go to the pitching. Back here with the Knights on the power play, they lead it 5-3, but this has been an insane game, and we're just in the second day of the NHL regular season. Meanwhile, it is still 3-3 Flames and Oilers. The Battle of Alberta still going on strong as ever. Mitch Marner, he'll set up down low for Barbashev. He'll get this one back over to, well, I believe it's Mark Stone. It is Mark Stone. Now it's Hurdle. Dorofeyev, rather. As Hurdle's out there in the slot. He looked Marner's direction, goes to Eichel instead. Dorofeyev closes in. He wanted a fletcher, but Stone doesn't get it. Warren Foegele in on the puck. Now it's Byfield. He'll send this one down. He's impressed tonight for the Kings. Aiden Hill, with 9 minutes to go in regulation, sending it up for Marner. Marner will send this dropping back for Eichel. He moves in. Stone. Tomas Hurdle. Pavel Dorofeyev fires. And that one up high. He wanted his 4th goal of the game, which would be spectacular for him. Last year's season for Dorofeyev, he showed that it's no fluke. In fact, last year was the first time he scored 30 goals in any level of hockey.
Wow.
Expanded ice time does help. And no longer does he have to be shadowed by Paul Cotter. Now that Cotter is over with the New Jersey Devils. Faceoff is won by the Golden Knights with some help. At the near half boards, they're surveying still. Back onto the left point. Drop down. As the second unit is out there, cleared out by the Kings. This unit led by William Karlsson, otherwise known as Wild Bill. 2 defensemen on the second unit, Shea Theodore and Noah Hannafin. Taken up by Theodore, poked away by the Kings. And here they come. Here's the breakout. Trevor Moore on the way. He scores! Do not go anywhere. It's Trevor Moore. My voice cracked, but the Kings apparently are not. It is a 1-goal game. Oh, turnovers when setting up on the power play are deadly because when you have someone in the clear, shorthanded, on a breakaway, that can be a killer because your task was shutting him down. Carlson did all he could try to stick with Moore, but he stayed with this puck and got his active stick on it. It's 5-4, so we're not done yet here. It's far from over. Moore and Deneau to kill off the rest of this penalty as it's set all the way down. In the PWHL, when you score short-handed, the penalty automatically ends. It basically is a get-out-of-jail-free card. As this shot was wide and up and over towards the mesh. But the jailbreak goal when on the penalty kill is a unique concept in the PWHL. It's exciting, to say the least.
It's exciting, but I don't know if I'd want that transcribed to the NHL.
Well, hindsight's 20/20. In fairness, The top units back out there. Dorofeyev wanting to get goal number 4. Noah Hanovin's out there as the power play quarterback. Bucked away by Cody Ceci, who's trying to prove doubters wrong. We'll see yet how the season goes, though Dallas was on the wrong end of the stick when they acquired him in the Michael Granlund trade. Long shot, missed the net, poked away by Brian Dumoulin, who was a trade deadline acquisition for the New Jersey Devils last year. Kings tried to tie the game here at 5 apiece. It was been a crazy game. The Kings convert on their only power play courtesy of Andrei Kuzmenko. The Knights are 2 of 6. Hanifin moves it up. For the middle is Colton Sissons, acquired from Nashville. That sent Nick Hague the other way. Brett Howden knocking it back over to Shea Theodore and going around the net. Expected somebody at the near corner. Did not get anyone. Puck still at the Kings zone as the Knights trying to play this. At the near side, Kolesar protecting the puck around Mikey Anderson. Kolesar looks back, looking at the point. Wants to go to Theodore, instead moves this one around, down deep. Poked away several times. Sissons and Howden there. Howden driving it and protecting at the near side. Howden shielding the puck. Dowdy all over it. Kopitar 2. Still with it is Sissons. Now back. This actually is offside, so if the Knights touch up, it will be offside. Well, they're not waving it now. Here's a one-timer. Stopped by Forsberg. The Kings will get this one out, so forget I said anything about a potential offside, because if Vegas scored, then the Kings could challenge for an offside there. Pick up by Carlson on the pass. Could not go any further. LA sends this one down. Both teams go for changes. Hanifin and Whitecloud back out there. Shot attempts are 56-29. Golden Knights. The Kings wanting to avenge their loss from yesterday at the hands of the Colorado Avalanche, where Marty Necas scored twice. The only goal came from Kevin Fiala at garbage time on the power play. Here's Byfield up front. Score! It is tied! Brett Clark!
Well then.
What has gotten into the Los Angeles Kings over the last 5+ minutes?
I don't know.
Well, that shorthanded goal was a booster by Trevor Moore, and it got the energy to shift back towards them as we're tied at 5. The Kings' comeback attempt, trying to erase the Golden Knights' comeback attempt, and back and forth we go here at the Sin City. 6 minutes left. Byfield sets up Brett Clark 2 goals in a span of 2 minutes and 21 seconds as Clark, the sophomore defenseman, gets his mojo going and scores the all-important tying goal. Byfield was impressed a lot, and he had a breakout year earlier in his career. Could he make that second jump to develop his game into a top-line center? Time will tell for sure, but so far, that we are tied at 5 here. If we go to overtime, it will be cinema. And speaking of overtime, that's where the Battle of Alberta will be at. So this will be sent in deep. Cody Ceci smacks one away from Brandon Saad. Philip Deneau also there. Brian Dumoulin up for Adrian Kempe. Up the far side, Vegas recovering. Saad tied up once and twice. Fogle knocks it away, the former Oiler. Moved around by Vegas at their own zone. 5:10 to go. They send this deep. This will not be iced, as it is well short of the line of game. Mikey Anderson, Drew Doughty. Top defensive pairing, Clark from Byfield and Kuzmenko. From the near side, Anze Kopitar. Final season in the NHL was intercepted, and the Knights will move this back. Knocked up front and then knocked away. Vegas will retreat all the way back to their own zone. Theodore, watched by Kopitar. This was the very team that Vegas defeated in their first ever postseason series in their inaugural year, a 4-game series sweep in which both teams combined for just 10 goals, and every game was decided by 1 goal. 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, and then 1-0 were the final score lines. Far corner set up for Byfield as Vegas read that play. Zach Whitecloud took it up. Noah Hanifin can't get a stick on it. The Kings keep it. Up and around as Whitecloud and Kuzmenko chase for the puck. Whiteclaw beat out Kuzmenko, but Kuzmenko pins him, and it's taken up by Brett Howden. All the way back is Clark. First year is the second pairing D-man, filling in the shoes of the traded Jordan Spence, who's now with the Ottawa Senators. From the penalty box, Alex Laferriere. Laferriere drops this one back over to Byfield. On the near corner, around Sissons, takes a bump. Sissons trying to dispossess him. Byfield stays with him. Back to the left point, it is Dumoulin, slaps one. Stopped by Hill. This rebound goes towards the near side. CC chasing after it, trying to scoop it up. Howden dropping this back over to Whiteclaw. One of the Kings was charging onto him. And Vegas trying to get this out, and they will get it out. Glove down by CC as he sent it up. Moving back is Trevor Moore, who scored the shorthanded goal, trying to mount this comeback from the Kings. And trying to snap Vegas' winning streak on opening nights of 6 straight. For the far side, as the Knights get into the zone, Fogle cuts off Smith. Now back over to CC. Kuzmenko, Byfield, Armia, Moore, and Clark, the goal scorers for LA. Dorofeyev 3 times, Eichel, and Barbashev for Vegas. Riley Smith dropping this one back over to William Karlsson, gets knocked away off the stick of one of the Kings, and it'll be McNabb, the ex-King. Now back over to Smith as he sends it in deep. Doughty away from Karlsson. 2:45 left in the third period. Alec Nava, Ian Genge with you as it's sent up over towards the penalty box doors. Brandon Saad almost got pickpocketed, but here comes Pavel Dorofeyev with Tomas Hertl. Setting it in deep. Saad recollects it, trying to wrap this one around, cannot do so. At the side of the net. And right there at the spot was Kopitar. Now back behind the net, it is Anderson, fed from Doughty. Now back to Doughty. He moved it up. Fiala, the former Minnesota Wild man, moves it around for the boards, gets slammed there by McNabb. Sent back around, McNabb will pick it up at the near corner. Edmondson held it in, trying to find somebody across the ice, but right there, Johnny on the spot was Shea Theodore to knock it away. The big hit there along the far half boards as Saad got it out, and Dumoulin will recollect it at his own zone. Dumoulin, long stretch pass, and this will be Armia. Long shot kicked away by Hill, an easy save there. Byfield's back out there, cross-ice pass, Edmondson blasts one, wide, and the rebound's picked up by Vegas. Dumoulin held it in. Barbashev has trouble trying to get this one out. It'll be down low for Laferriere at the far corner. On the right side, Edmondson who's staying out there. Over to Laferriere at the far corner. Laferriere knocked out. Is there going to be something here? No hand yet. Vegas picks it up, no penalty. So it'll be sent to him by Tomas Hertl directly onto Anton Forsberg. 123 as Edmondson gets bumped by Barbashev. It was not Hertl. Jeremy Lauzon, another Golden Knights player making his debut with his new team, acquired the same trade as Sissons was. Caden Korczak on a third pairing for the first time in his career on a full-time basis as it goes around the far side by Marner. Marner trying to set up Eichel, trying to get the go-ahead goal of a minute left. At the near corner, Doughty plays it away. On the right side, Korczak keeping it in. Fogle right behind the net. He'll pick it up. Warren Fogle set things up. The Kings led 3-1 and trailed 5-3. They lost last night against the Avalanche. Trying to make up for that here of a win on the road to steal victory from the Golden Knights. Trying to enter the regulation. They set it off to Kopitar's stick. 35 seconds left. Behind Hill's crease. They're in the trapezoid. Fighting for the loose puck. 30 seconds left. Hertl is all over Fiala. Hertl sticks it away. Kempe trying to go after this puck. Fiala also there. Kept it alive. Around the boards. Over towards the near side. Doughty held the zone, but took a hit. And this puck goes to Kolasar. Holds it. Out to center ice. 10 seconds. If no goals are scored here, we'll go to overtime. 5 seconds as Vegas wants to hold on, and they will run out the clock. And how fitting that in Mitch Marner's debut with the Golden Knights, we get overtime here at Las Vegas.
Sounds about right.
It does. So it's 5-5 after 60 minutes of action, and we'll get at a minimum 5 more minutes before we head to a shootout if no more goals are scored. So just to make predictions, who do you have getting the winning goal from each team?
You know what? Let's go with the new guy, Marner for the Knights, and as for the Kings, Kopitar.
I mean, it does fit that you pick Kopitar because he announced before the year that he'll be retiring at the end of the season. And for him to start his farewell tour with an overtime winner would be sweet, Ian.
Yes, it would.
For me, I am picking for the Golden Knights. Or the Golden Knights, I'm picking Ivan Barbashev to get his second goal of the game in overtime. And for the Kings, you know what? I'll be going with Adrian Kempe, who's been clutch for the Kings time and time again in the postseason. And he can carry that momentum onto the regular season and get a much-needed win for the Kings on the road. So, still the Oilers and Flames are deep into overtime. If nobody scores here in OT, we go to a shootout. But what a game we've had here. So, everybody's on their feet here at T-Mobile Arena. There are no towels here, but we see a lot of Golden Knights jerseys. Overtime. 5-5 after 60 minutes, and we know who's out there. Mitch Marner for the Golden Knights. Why else would it be? It's a no-brainer. You put him next to Jack Eichel, and you have Shea Theodore as the lone defenseman for Vegas. Kevin Fiala, Quinton Byfield, and Drew Doughty out there for the Kings. But what a game that Byfield's had for LA. Arguably been the best player for the Kings, and overtime is underway. Vegas goes from left to right. Kings from right to left. Shea Theodore waits at his own zone as they're all setting up here, 3-on-3. We're 15 seconds deep as this is a drop pass from Theodore to Eichel. He'll take his time for the burst. It's actually Mitch Marner taking this one across. Marner dropping it off. Eichel scooting in. Eichel fires. Kick save. Forsberg. Another beauty there. Picked up again by Marner. 33 shots on goal for the Knights as Eichel did not like what he sees, so he's going to be forced out by Fiala. Shea Theodore as we get our first change. The you guys, Pavel Dorofeyev. He'll take this in himself. Circling around. He has a hat trick. He was looking for his fourth goal of the game. Eichel exits, and he'll pass back over to the new guy, Noah Hannafin. Still Fiala, Byfield, and Doughty for the Kings. Poked away by Byfield, but the Knights get it back. Only for the Kings to take it away, and here's a chance for the upset. Quinton Byfield's in. He shoots it. His kick save by Aiden Hill to save it for the Knights. 2-on-2 the other way as it is Dorofeyev. Setting this one to left side for Hannafin. Noah Hannafin goes behind the net. William Karlsson's out there too. Hannafin pinned along the near corner and is cleared out. Aiden Hill is out to play over to Wild Bill. William Karlsson. More changes coming out here for Vegas. Jack Eichel's back. Shea Theodore's back. Now we need Mitch Marner back. Here he is. Here's Marner. Nice shot prevention by the Kings to deny him a shooting opportunity. He gets knocked off the puck by Brian Dumoulin. It'll be kept along by Theodore as he waits. Kempe's with him. Marner right behind the net. Watched by Dumoulin. Mitch Marner wants to get the feed for Eichel. Cannot. He'll grab a hold of it. Broken up for the moment. Eichel can't keep it alive. Here comes Alex LaFerriere. Chance for the win here as Eichel's rushing back. Another save by Aiden Hill. And back the other way. Here's Marner chasing after it. It goes beyond the crease. And it'll be picked up by Vegas. Back to Marner. Good hold. Brett Howden's out there. Howden grabbing a hold of it. Poked away. And here's a 2-on-1. On the other side, here is Trevor Moore. Moore waits, goes across, sliding blocked shot on the pass. That was Noah Hannafin as he will get some stick taps on his back on the way to the bench. Brett Howden still with the puck. Mark Stone has just come onto the ice. The captain's there. Zach Whitecloud sends one towards Forsberg who stops it. Kuzmenko on the ice with Moore and Clark. Moore waiting with this for his time. Now back for Drew Doughty, who is out there now. And Quinton Byfield is once again out there. William Karlsson returns. No stoppages to speak of in overtime. And what has been an instant classic of a season opener for the Knights. Byfield shoved once. Great stick lift by Karlsson. And this will set up Whitecloud on the rush. Wide crowd delays. He'll go back. Wanting to go for Carlson. All the space is blocked up. Now he'll go for the long feed. Carlson. William Carlson has a partner with him. The pass missed. It is Dorofeyev who's out there looking for his fourth goal. Wide open is Theodore. Theodore fires. As blocked out of play. Is right onto the glove of Anton Forsberg. Shea Theodore with the closest that there is to scoring in overtime for the Knights. Quinton Byfield shut down by Hill. And what a chance there was for Mitch Marner. But a good stick by Alex Laferriere to prevent that from going all the way through. Eichel with an errant turnover, and he lost his stick in the process. He had to fend off Alex Laferriere. And a good sliding pass block up on by Noah Hannafin on Trevor Moore. Defense has been the calling card for Vegas in this overtime period. Anton Forsberg has stood the test of time. 25 shots for the Kings, 34 for the Golden Knights. Eichel has a goal and 3 assists in this game, 2 of them on the power play. He wins the faceoff back to Shea Theodore. Waiting with it. Here is Marner, backpedaling. Looking to go to Eichel, pickpocketed. And here's Dumoulin. Going to Kempe, working on Theodore. Seatbelts are fastened here at Vegas. It's Kempe. Fires one wide. Not a strong looking shot anyways. As Dumoulin rushes to the puck to keep it alive. Danault trying to get open. And that's skipped over his stick. Danault takes it out. And it will be collected by Kempe on the pass. Adrian Kempe. This one was knocked away. But skating back is Doughty. Eichel forcing a turnover. The pass missed. Good stick by, what I believe was Doughty. Good stick by Doughty to force the pass to go awry. And that allows life to be easier for Forsberg. But tomorrow is the Hurricanes home opener and the season debut of Nikolai Ehlers as a Carolina Hurricane. That game, I can't wait. But here, it is Vegas and LA. Fight to the death in overtime. No updates from Flames and Oilers. That game is at a shootout now. Face off. Won by Vegas again. Here is White Cloud, who spins and is kept in by the Knights. William Karlsson. Watched by Kopitar as Karlsson trying to slide free. 33 seconds left in the extra session. Karlsson keeping this one alive. Skates away from danger. Karlsson trying to find some open space. Got it over to Dorofeyev. Dorofeyev. Karlsson. Karlsson gets by Fiala. Shut down by Forsberg. 18.9 left on the clock. So now, the Flames and Oilers are in a shootout. And if we don't get any goals here, we'll go to the shootout 2 ourselves in this game. Quinton Byfield's there on the ice. Jack Eichel, Mitch Marner, Shea Theodore on the ice. It's Byfield, I believe Fiala and Doughty next to him. So, and indeed we got the lineups correct. Eichel, Marner, Theodore, Byfield, Danault, Doughty. Well, save for Fiala, that is. So there's 2 centers out there. Byfield playing the wing this time. He played the wing before. He's to be on the left side of Kopitar. Danault wins the faceoff. Philip Danault protecting this puck away from Jack Eichel. Danault, one last rush here for the Kings. Has Byfield with him. Danault protecting this one back. Doesn't like what he sees. Doughty. Do the Kings go for the kill here? 2 seconds. 1 second. Danault fires this. Stopped by Hill. And we will go to a shootout.
And here we go.
And speaking of the shootout, the only goal scorer for either side. Now we have 2 goal scorers. Leon Draisaitl scores, only to be answered by Morgan Frost. The Flames trust Justin Kirkwood to be their shootout master. And that time he got stopped. So now we're going to have an ice scrapage in the meantime. Keep an eye on Oilers Flames. Meanwhile, but here in Las Vegas, it will be a 6-5 final result. RNH gets stopped by Dustin Wolf. We'll see how the Flames do on round number 3 if they don't score, it goes to round number 4. So, see how things go. So, the Kings led 3-1. The Knights led 5-3. Who has the comeback victory? So, we'll see who both sides go out with first. We know that Hill and Forsberg defend on their creases. And we're going to round 4 in Edmonton as Rasmus Andersson is stopped. So Forsberg going back to his crease. It'll be Adrian Kempe to begin things off for the Kings. So LA is going to start with this shootout. Shooting first. Fans booing here as Kempe goes near side. Now closes in onto the slot. He scores! LA strikes first. Great patience by Kempe to go to the slot. And that's skipped by the pad of Aiden Hill. And now Vegas with a chance to counter here. It is Jack Eichel as the first man up for the Golden Knights. He has 4 points. It's 4 points tonight. Near side. Now in the slot. Patiently. He's stopped by Forsberg. Tried to fake him out. Couldn't elevate it. David Tomashik stopped. Matt Coronado hit the post. That was round 4 of the shootout between Edmonton and Calgary. Tomashik is an offseason signing by Edmonton to shore up the fourth line. Trevor Moore is the next man for the Kings. He moves down the middle. Scores! He scored a shorthanded goal on a breakaway, and this time he went top shelf. The Golden Knights have to score to keep the shootout alive. Pavel Dorofeyev is their last hope. Now goes near side. Almost lost it. Keeps a hold of it. He scores! On the backhand. So Dorofeyev technically now has 4 goals. If the Kings score here, it's over. If they don't, Vegas has a chance to send this to extra rounds. Here's Kevin Fiala. Near side again. Conway going towards the slot for the win. Airmailed. It's not over yet. Isaac Howard. Neither him nor Matvei Greedon could score. And now here's Mitch Marner for the shootout. Is there magic in Mitch here? Near side. Now moves it up to the slot. Marner. Shut down by Forsberg. And the LA Kings and the Golden Knights 6-game winning streak at home openers. 6-5 the final score in the shootout. Anton Forsberg does the job of at the shootout. Trevor Moore, the hero. Brent Clark, the tying goal. And Quinton Byfield, have a night.
It's good. The final minutes, Alec.
Oh,
This is going to be a fun season.
it is. If this is a teaser, we're in for a treat. Apparently they're not done in Edmonton yet. Because they've gone 6 rounds and they haven't gotten a winning goal yet. Matt Savoie was stopped and Igor Sharangovich hit the post. Evan Bouchard and Connor Zary, neither one could find a twine. So now we'll see how things go. As we're going to jump in. They're going to jump into that game. They're in the 8th round now. Oh, that went off the crossbar for Bouchard. Oh, that's got to be painful. But that was Kapanen, actually. A goal by Calgary ends it. And it's Nazem Kadri in the 8th round. He scores! 8 rounds of a shootout, and the Flames take the Battle of Alberta. And that's going to do it here. Kings win 6-5. Wow. And the Flames take the Battle of Alberta 4-3 in a shootout. Alongside Ian Genge, I am Alec Nava saying so long from Las Vegas. Good night.